Aloha, everyone. Welcome to the February 2026 meeting of the Waikīkī Neighborhood Board. Before we start, I'd like to identify our members, ask our members to identify themselves. And we have two members on WebEx. Sarah and Nate.
Aloha.
And-
Test.
I'm Ren.
Okay,
Aloha, Nate Sorota's here. I'll be there in person momentarily.
Okay. Hi, I'm Melissa Feelick, District 3.
Bob Finley, Chair, Subdistrict 2. Jillian.
Jillian Anderson, Subdistrict 2 Vice Chair and Chair of the Public Safety Committee.
Lisa Cabanero, Subdistrict 1.
Aloha, my name is Rolf Nordahl, Subdistrict 3.
Shannon Smith, also Subdistrict 3.
Tim Hike, also Subdistrict 3.
Corey DeRazio, Subdistrict 1.
Daniel Jacob, Subdistrict 2, and also on behalf of my father, Ken Jacob, Subdistrict 1, who had surgery today. He made it out of surgery and is recovering. I spoke to him on the phone a little bit ago, so he apologizes he can't be here.
Thank you, Daniel. And this is Lou Erdachek, Vice Chair. Anson is our neighborhood assistant, going to keep us in charm. And I blank. Jordan is our old little producer. He'll make you all look good. Our board has given anyone speaking on from the community up to 2 minutes. Comment on any subject, and we have the timer to help you keep track of the comments. First on the agenda, Honolulu Fire Department. So we have oh, there he is. Welcome, Honolulu Fire Department.
Good evening. Captain Keone Abaya with the Waikīkī Fire Station. For January, our statistics include 3 structure fires, 2 nuisance calls, which includes rubbish fires outside of a structure or a vehicle, 1 cooking fire, 11 activated alarms with no fire, 186 medicals. We had 1 motor vehicle collision crash and 3 hazardous material incidences. Our safety tip for the month, the Honolulu Fire Department reminds the public to call 911 first if you have an emergency. Do not drive to the fire station nearest your location. It is very possible that the fire company will not be at the fire station due to responding to another call or emergency or performing other duties such as fire inspections, training, and educational activities. When you call 911, the operator will dispatch the closest available fire company to your emergency. Remember, when calling 911, to give the operator your initial need, police, fire, or EMS, and after you've been transferred to the appropriate agency, an accurate description of your need or your address location. HFD is also able to field 911 text messages. So if you find yourself in a spot where you do not have good reception or voice communication, as if hiking or something like that, then text your emergency to 911. If you have any other questions, please email hfdnhb@honolulu.gov.
Board members, questions for Honolulu Fire Department? Members of the community, questions for Honolulu Fire Department? Police Department, questions for Honolulu? Sorry, got too many. Thank you very much. Next, we have Honolulu Police Department. Major, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Acting Lieutenant Jared Spiker from District 6 Day Watch Patrol. I will go over the January statistics. For January, we had 3 robbery cases compared to 6 the previous month. We had 11 burglary cases compared to 16 the previous month. We had 115 theft cases compared to 85 the previous month. 9 cases involving breaking into a motor vehicle compared to 7 the previous month. 31 assault cases for January compared to 37 the previous month. 6 sexual assault type cases compared to 3 the previous month. We had 6 citations for bicycles and skateboarding on the sidewalk compared to 0 the previous month. For our traffic enforcement, we had 23 speeding citations compared to 24 the previous month. 1,975 parking citations compared to 1,584 the previous month. We gave 9 loud muffler citations compared to 3 the previous month. We issued 81 citations for park closures and 32 arrests for park closures in January. That's compared to 69 citations and 16 arrests the previous month. Total calls for service are 4,472 in January compared to 4,357 in the previous month. Also for January, we made 23 DUI arrests. And Major Okamoto would like to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Major Paul Okamoto, Waikīkī, District 6. I just wanted to say that we've been running a few operations. Thank you, Lieutenant, for the stats. One of those was loud muffler. So saw a slight increase in the citations. We did a peddling operation as well, where we did some enforcement action there. And in the near future, hopefully next week, I think the captain said next week, we'll have officers out on UTVs. So you'll see them in the golf carts up in the Kalakaua area, engaging with people and with homeless and addressing whatever they see on the beach and on the street and the sidewalk. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully that'll make some sort of a difference, I think. I'm here to take any questions from the ward or the audience.
Board members, questions for the Honolulu Police Department? Starting with Rolf.
Aloha. I continue to see, as I walk a dog in the park, I continue to see mopeds and e-bike riding through the park, particularly the triangular park in front of the zoo. It appears that they are not willing to drive around the zoo, and so they're looking for a shortcut through the park.
What time of the day is that usually?
I'm generally there either early in the morning or about 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have officers check that out. Part of the problems, as you know, with the e-bikes, they run from us, right? I mean, I'm not saying these people in the park will do that, but generally when you see these juveniles doing wheelies up and down Kalakaua, they run from us. We're sort of in a quandary, right? When we chase them, if we chase them, they might crash, they might injure themselves or others. And so it really is a delicate balance we have to take, right, when we do enforcement of these things. But we will check it out, and we'll have officers go out to address these violations.
Next question.
Aloha, Major. Great to see you again. I have one request and one question. The request is we get the stats for the DUIs every month, but it's not actually on one of the offenses because it's kind of like an old stat sheet. If there's a way to format, add an extra line for DUIs.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I don't know if I think we could do that.
Awesome.
Add it to the sheet that we disseminate to everyone. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it would just be easier.
Yeah.
And then the question is, does District 6 or any district, or does HPD have a office that covers this for District 6 as far as crime analysis? I'm used to each precinct having a crime analyst. For instance, they can determine what time of day certain crimes are happening, and maybe then the watch commander can decide where to put resources or a specialized unit or something. I'm just wondering, does HPD have that? And if so, if there's a way you could explain how that impacts.
Yeah, sure. I don't know the inner workings of it, but we do have a crime analysis unit. We have certain officers that are just dedicated to that, and they do crime analysis for each of our districts, generate reports when they see burglaries that are, that might be a series or robberies. They'll send reports to all of the individual district commanders. If you guys want to do your own research, and I don't know if you guys know, but we actually have a pretty good dashboard. If you go onto honolulupd.org, and you can sort of click on certain areas, certain beats, and you can check on the crime within that area. That's actually a pretty powerful tool that the public can take a look at. But to answer your question, yes, we do actually have a crime analysis unit, and they do produce reports for us.
Okay, just to follow up that, just real quick, I'll be quick. How often is that done? Because obviously things can change from day to day.
Sure. I don't think it's that often. It's not as often as maybe you might be thinking, but definitely at least once a month. If there is something happening, they'll definitely let out a email to all of the district commanders that are affected. But it's not like it's like a daily report or a weekly report.
Okay, thank you. And I actually lied. I did have one more question, so to speak. Several people on the board are wanting to do a ride-along. We were told we can just pick up forms, turn them in. We turned them in. We've actually since then been told we have to go in person to the main station. Is there a way to find out how do we do that?
Yeah, I think those are organized through our community affairs division. I think there's an online, is there an online process for them to do that? I don't know, Kat. But I can follow up with you afterwards and we can, I can get you that information, but I know it's the community affairs division that actually handles that. I think there are some certain requirements. I think you have to be either a student or maybe a community board member. I think that might be one of the requirements, but or news media or whatever. There's some requirements, but yeah, I'll be definitely willing to look into that for you.
Thank you.
Daniel?
Hi, Major Daniel Jacob of District 2.
Hi.
I appreciate you bringing up the loud muffler. It's been a while since I've spun my broken record, and I was planning on giving it a play tonight anyway. A couple things. You mentioned that there was some sort of enforcement specifically designed for loud muffler.
Oh, yeah, it's basically because I received some of those questions last month. We instructed the officers to, hey, put a focus on this. If you see loud mufflers, if you see people playing their music more than 30 feet away from the vehicle, do some enforcement. So I think it really is as simple as let's place a priority on this. And then let's get our officers used to giving citations for those. I don't know if you saw the signboard when I came in your Waikīkī.
So I'd like to address that too. Right now, well, first of all, that's the most encouraging statement from HPD I think I've heard about noise violations. We just need to enforce it more. This board has been saying that for probably longer than I've been alive, even though I'm coming up on 44. Again, that's probably one of the longest running issues of this board is noise muffler violations. And I know it was maybe 4, 5, or even 6 months ago that it was reported there was 13 loud muffler violations, and that number was met with a round of applause by the crowd. And I think that just demonstrates how important this issue is to this community and how easy it is to control and how much of an impact it really would have. Let's be clear, one person's decision to make noise that tens and 20,000 people can hear all at once is illegal. It's attention-driven activity, and we want the attention to be given by the police to that illegal that conduct. As to the board, when you enter Waikīkī, that I live directly across the street from, it says right now that the loud muffler is $79. But because of this board's complaints and issues about noise violations, our state senator, Sharon Moriwaki, passed a bill in 2025 that raised the first time offense to 150, and that's Act 172. I have it on my screen. So that's been an act now for probably a year at least, and that sign hasn't been updated. So I want to thank you for your, that's all it takes is we just need to enforce it more. I hope we see that much more than 9.
Sure. I think noise is one of the complaints we hear a lot. Previous to this assignment, I know Senator Moriwaki actually fairly well and was part of the, we had a noise working group with all the city and state partners, and we're trying to come up with ideas. I think the most current idea was trying to get noise meters assigned to police officers. I don't know if I'm generally in favor of that. It's just another piece of equipment that we have to maintain and defend in court. But there's other solutions to this, right?
I'm under the impression you don't need a noise meter to enforce the law. Disorderly conduct is defined as, based on the situation.
100%.
2 a.m. in the morning, you're waking up 20, 30,000 people. That's just the residents in Waikīkī, not let alone the tourists. it's illegal conduct and
And
issue the ticket.
It's interesting you say that because that was actually my solution. I think we need to strengthen the disorderly conduct statute, perhaps modify it a little bit to give the officers a little bit more.
I'd love to look at it with you. It's very clear as to what unreasonable noise is based on factors, time of day, stuff like that. And, I can ask who in here thinks, raise your hand if it's disorderly at 3 a.m. in the morning to wake you up with their loud muffler, right?
For sure.
I'll present that
Yeah, for sure.
case to the jury, criminal any day,
I understand the frustration.
Hey, again, I really want to commend you because it's been a broken record that I haven't played a long time. It's an issue that can be taken care of. Like we can do something about this and it will have a great impact on the community in Waikīkī.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks for the feedback.
Sarah, do you have a question?
Just
Sarah,
real fast, for the ride along, there are 2 forms that are required. One form is actually online. The second form, you actually have to go to the main precinct to get it. However, we were told that they were going to bring us that second form to one of the meetings. And I know you've switched officers a lot, so I mean, nothing on you. Just hopefully you can bring it perhaps next meeting in March, the second form.
Can somebody email me? And then maybe that may be a good way. It's my first initial P Okamoto, POKAMOTO at honolulu.gov.
Right, I'll do that right now.
Yeah, we'll try and get you guys signed up if it's possible. Like I said,
appreciate
there's no promises, but there's a process.
No, I appreciate it, sir.
you finished there, Sarah? I'm sorry. Okay. Members of the community, questions? John, please use the microphone over there.
Hi, Major.
Hi.
Just wanted to talk about the headlines in the paper last week. We had 8 officers attacked since June. 7 of the defendants are facing felonies. 6 of those people that were homeless, as best I can tell. They all might have been. Just wanted you to discuss the nature of the people you're dealing with out there, because many times at this board meeting and in the public, they go, why do they need 6 cops to go to this? Why do they need 10 cops? And I keep saying, these people are nuts. Most of the people you deal with are mentally unstable. And the evidence now is that you got 8 cops hurt since June. You had 2 cops killed not that long ago. So that's why they do it. But I hear that complaint all the time, and I don't think the people in this room quite get it. Thanks.
It certainly is a big concern of ours. And really, I think as we increase our encounters with these people and try to address the homelessness issue proactively, or when we try to address vagrancy, this is going to increase the chances that that these types of things occur, right? And as you know, a lot of these people suffer from mental illness, from substance abuse issues, and sometimes they're not in their right mind, and so they react violently to police officers. And unfortunately, officers get injured and assaulted. So it really is a big concern for us. But I think the rising number of that is just the fact that we're actually increasing our interactions with these people to try to get them into shelter, because ultimately that's the goal, right? We want to get them to go, and they're very, very highly resistant to shelter. But hopefully with these repeated interactions, we can sort of convince them, hey, this is the better option than living on the streets. Thanks for the question.
Jacob.
Aloha, thank you, Jacob Winsack. I just want to give you guys a shout out for the high winds we saw Sunday, Monday, where I saw a bunch of traffic lights go down in Waikīkī, and you guys were out there pretty quick, directing traffic, managing the traffic flow. So just want to recognize that good work there. And I definitely want to echo the concern that was brought up earlier about people on mopeds and bikes riding through the park. That's happening a lot in my part of Waikīkī, where I always see people on mopeds just riding down the sidewalk, barreling through, no matter the pedestrians. And I'm glad that you guys are increasing the foot patrols, community outreach on the beach, but we also need that for the rest of Waikīkī, right? I've been saying it for a while. We definitely need a bigger emphasis on foot patrols. You guys walking around in pairs of 2 or 3, especially further up in Waikīkī, would go a long way to just have these low-level, everyday disturbances, disorders sort of checked and kept in line. So appreciate what you guys are doing, and hopefully we can pivot this year to more foot patrols. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to give credit to Acting Lieutenant Jared Spiker here. He was on duty when all of the power went out, I think both instances, and he's the one that coordinated all of that response. So thank you, Lieutenant, for that. And I did have a conversation with the captain just a few weeks ago about foot patrols. Actually, it's our fourth watch officers, our rookie officers that come out that are in between assignments. We're assigning them either foot patrol or to be on bicycles. So you'll see a lot more of that. Thank you.
Ma'am, go ahead.
Aloha. I'm Linda Dewey. I live on the Aliwai. I also have a shout out, 2 parts. I walk basically every other week with the Waikīkī Community Policing, and that's a large group, and it includes Aloha ambassadors. They share a lot of information. We see them interact like with some things like, someone with a loud radio walking right in front of them. So that's a big shout out. They're taking the time for an hour to answer our questions, give us tips. Part 2 of that is you have a lot of work to do with the homeless. Anyone can call you because it's illegal to lay down, as I understand it, in any place besides the beach and the park. So one thing, I've heard Gary Cordery, who's running for governor, speak 4 times. One of his thing is, that's a lot for you. You have a lot going on. We should think about having a specialized agency just for the homeless to parse them out. Who are they and get them what they need. So that's on top of everything you do. Again, a big shout out.
Thank you very much.
I see online we have Greg. Greg, are you there? Greg, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm just trying to get the video started. Aloha. Thank you, Chair. Aloha, everyone. I am Greg Masaki, and I'm usually there in person just to participate, but I'm joining by Zoom, by WebEx. I always get used to saying Zoom. For the officer there, I have just a question. You were talking earlier about noise. I know one of the board members raised the concern regarding the loud mufflers, but the most prevalent noise problem that we have in Waikīkī that I'm very familiar with because I experience it on a regular basis, and it's something that's in the purview of the mayor's office. Mike Formby, the managing director, is heavily involved in this, and there's been a town hall regarding it, is the extremely loud and obnoxious early trash pickup noise from the trash companies. There's 2 involved, and that's between the hours of, I've heard it go back as early as 3:30 in the morning. I'm aware of it from 4 in the morning through 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is a reasonable time, and I believe in some states and communities they set 7 o'clock as the parameter. But there is a Department of Health regulatory section that talks on that, and I've called, and I know I've had HPD come when I first moved here, and they've addressed, discussing it. I've reached out to the companies. It's something that if you're addressing a loud exhaust that just goes on for maybe 20 seconds, it drives down the street, and you're not addressing something that lasts for hours. And when I say that, I mean hours, because these early trash pickup trucks come, they move the trash bins, and then the trash truck will come later from multiple buildings, and it goes on for literally hours. They come, they go, they come back, they go, they come back. Could you please address that and put that on agenda for future? And I'd like you to work with Managing Director Formby and the group. I'm part of that group. We're on an email. I'd like HPD to get involved in that process, if you could. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, I know this concern because I've heard it many, many times. We've discussed it also. I think there's sort of a balance. I don't know about 3 o'clock in the morning, but there's a balance between doing this when there's no pedestrians, because they are moving some heavy things around, right? And backing up and speeding around our neighborhoods. And there's no traffic in the mornings. So I get that, but I understand the noise also. I think currently we're just not equipped legislatively with the right tools to handle that. I can't see making a disorderly conduct sort of criminal case against these people that are trying to pick up our trash, honestly. I'll be very honest with you. So I think there's got to be other solutions. And I'll be more than happy to work with whatever working group you guys have to try and come up with a solution. But currently, my answer is I don't think we have the right tools legislatively to address that kind of noise.
I understand your concern with the legislative portion, but I do believe we have some tools in hand already established from previous times, but we'll have to address that. I work very closely with the legislature, and I'm involved in numerous organizations here that are involved in Kapuna related issues. So it is a Kapuna related concern for elders too. And, you know, it's something that's very prevalent on the island or in the urban.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Major.
looking forward to those conversations.
Thank you, Major. Aloha.
Don't see any more people with their hands up. Thank you, Major, for making a point to coming down and visiting with us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks,
Appreciate
everybody.
it. Next, we have Board of Water Supply.
Good evening, Dominic Diaz with the Honolulu Board of Water Supply. Excuse me. Happy to announce there are no main breaks in the month of January. Make this real quick. Poster poetry contest is open. If you've got kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, in grades K through 6, they can join the poster contest. Grades 7 through 12, the poetry contest. There's information on our website, boardofwatersupply.com/WCW contest. That said, moving forward, I'll be submitting a monthly report for the board to read if they wish or disseminate amongst members. Just wanted to make a quick announcement. Wish everybody a happy new year since I wasn't able to make it last month. And let you know that we are currently in the final stages of wrapping up our 6-year capital improvement program. So we're looking to adopt that in the next couple months. And then if the board wishes, I'd be happy to come back and maybe go over some projects that might be relevant to the community. And at this time, I'd be happy to take any questions on behalf of the Board of Water.
Go ahead.
Aloha. This question is actually related to Board of Water Supply, but kind of to the board. I thought that we had voted before that you weren't needed to come here in person.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I saw myself on
No,
the.
that didn't, we didn't get a vote on it.
But-
There was a motion, but there was no vote.
Okay.
So.
Can I make a motion now?
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion that each month we don't need an in-person Board of Water Supply person. Just a monthly or a written report
Absolutely.
would be suffice.
Yeah, and then if there's ever anything you guys want me to come and talk about, or then I could do that on request.
All right, thank you. That's my motion.
But that, yeah, up to you as a board.
Thank you.
I second it.
I've got Laura Ruby on. Laura Ruby, are you there?
I second the
Yes,
motion.
Yes, I am. Okay, maybe you have to vote first. Are you voting first?
Go ahead.
Okay, I can go ahead with the question I have for Dominic. Is that okay? Or you're going to vote first?
I second
Sorry,
it.
I did not hear the second.
I second it.
Okay. So we're in discussion whether we should have Board of Water Supply come once a month or quarterly. Is that what I heard?
Every
We
month,
need
a
it.
written report only, unless there's a specific reason we need him to, or a representative to come here in person.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Discussion, board members?
Who's he going to send the written report to? You? I thought we already took care of this a long time ago, didn't we? That we said if you want to come quarterly, that's fine. Right? We never voted?
We don't need a vote. Then we can just decide.
Okay, we'll resolve it tonight. Okay, so board members, any concerns? Yeah, so let's vote on this.
Oh, wait, ours.
Oh, got a question?
If you send in a written report, you can just send it to Bob and we can read it, correct?
Absolutely.
At the meeting.
Yeah, however you guys want to handle it.
Or answer.
Okay, okay.
It goes to the neighborhood commission already, but yeah.
Okay, when I say your name, please say yes, no, or abstain regarding the motion to have a written report monthly. Is that correct? Okay. Instead of having him
Right.
attend the meeting.
Written report in lieu of coming in person.
Okay. Amu?
Yes.
No, no, she's online. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Okay. Nordahl? Okay. Carbonaro?
Yes.
Okay. D. Orazio? Okay, yes. Erlicek? Yes, okay. Felix?
Yes.
Okay. Finley? Abstain, okay. Hensky?
Yes.
Okay. Hike?
Yes.
Okay. Daniel Jacob? Okay. Jeff Morris is not here. Sirota? Okay, yes, okay. Smith?
Yes.
Okay. And Worth?
Yes.
Okay. The yes has it. Okay. The motion is adopted.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. We got two questions for Board of Water Supply. Go ahead, Tim, and we'll get Laura Ruby in just a minute.
Thank you. Dominic, can you give us an update on the desal plan out on the west side?
Sure.
And how much CapEx is going to be devoted to that? Thank you.
So status wise, we are currently going through the permitting process. So we've got a slew of permits, various agencies. We did pilot testing. We completed our pilot testing. We were successful in matching existing water quality with desalinated water. So we are absolutely comfortable that we are able to provide very closely matching water to the existing system that shouldn't have any detrimental effects when introduced into the existing piping. In terms of capital, I'd have to get back to you. We are soliciting this project as a design, build, operate, maintain delivery. So all the costs include a 20-year operation period. So I'd have to parcel out all the construction line items to get you a exact number on the capital cost for construction itself. We have some other regulatory issues we're dealing with. We are going through a biological assessment, looking at working with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife because we are applying for a lot of different federal monies for this project. So there's some other processes we have to go through. So we're trying to, hedge the amount of ratepayer monies needed to build this project because it is a big, expensive project. So trying to go after as many federal dollars as we possibly can. I'd be happy as we get closer. We are a timeline looking at late 28, early 29, hopefully to have something operational, actually supplying water into the system. So as we get closer, if the board is interested, I'd be happy to come back with a lot more of the finer details and specifics around the project itself.
Thank you. Laura Ruby, you had a question?
Yes. Hello, Dominic. I wondered if you may not have it tonight, but what is the status or the update of the structural problem that is at the McCully Bridge where the two water lines run across into Waikīkī? At this time, there could be enough time to work with DTS and actually put a bike and pedestrian path over that gridded structure and save a lot of the safety concerns that McCully Bridge presents.
Sure. I'd have to get back to you on that too. So I know we did complete a design. We had 100% design on the waterline replacement. And then I believe there were some existing condition structural issues that sort of put it back into the design phase. Where they're at, I'm not sure. So I'd have to double check and get back to you.
Thank you.
We plan to be here in April with the contractor on
With
that
the
project.
contractor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else for Board of Water Supply? Don't see anything. Dominic, thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you.
It's been a great pleasure. Okay, we got citizens' concerns, the items not on the agenda. Please use the 2 minutes and we will move on from there. Persons with citizens' concerns, please use microphone.
Aloha, my name is Amy Fuller. I'm a resident of Kapahulu, so just up the street. And I'm also here to talk about noise that many of you guys have heard, but probably don't realize that you have an opportunity to say. So the Federal Aviation Association is actually restructuring the airspace above Hawaii. And they have asked for resident feedback. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to give feedback about the noise that we hear from the airplanes and the helicopters. So I have a flyer here. We've done some research about the main paths. So the two main arrival paths, and this is with the trade ones, fly actually overhead, then they circle around to the west side, and then they land. So we hear them coming over the neighborhoods. When they depart, you guys hear, right? They come up, they kind of bank out into shore, and then they've been banking back over the Diamond Head area. There's also the H1 freeway route, and this affects more of the Kapahulu area. And these planes, there's little ones that go up and down that all night. Like I hear them at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. They're just going back and forth from the neighboring islands. And also, as you guys probably are really aware, is the helicopter tours, right? We were able to get those kind of pushed offshore a little bit, but what we want to ask is that they take all of the routes, and on the backside is kind of the routes, and we're asking if they can push them offshore. And then also like just a little bit further to mitigate the noise over the most populated areas of Oahu. And we're also asking for the freeway route, maybe the planes can go around the island instead of through. And this is, like I said, this is just a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to give our feedback. So there's a QR code on this flyer that is a link to where you can give feedback to the FAA. And then I have one more sentence, sorry. The Kapahulu, Diamond Head, Kaimuki, and Kaimuki boards have passed a resolution. So we've actually written a resolution that the Waikīkī board can look at, and then potentially we'll present it next meeting for you guys to look at and pass. And the deadline for feedback is March 15th, so it's actually really quick. So if there's any questions.
I do.
I can answer.
Okay. Sarah, you had
Great.
something on-
My question is, could we actually add that flyer to the Google Share Drive? That way everyone has access to it?
Yeah, so I'll hand out everyone a copy on the board, and I didn't make enough copies of the resolution.
No.
And then I'll also leave a copy of the flyer. back
Actually,
here.
you could just email it to Anson. He can upload it, and then the whole community can see it. That way you don't have to pass out flyers. That'd be great. Is that okay, Anson? Sorry to volunteer you.
Yeah, I can upload it.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Are there any other questions?
Okay. Thank you. As I said, we have only a few minutes and he'll distribute it. Thank you. On the Cohio Beach showers, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Really quick, we just wanted to give an update on our Cohio Beach Shower Improvement Project. So this is for beach showers from the Waikīkī Police Station all the way down to Kapahulu. So there's 6 beach shower areas that we're looking at doing improvements for. Our primary goal is eliminating that runoff that's going from the showers into the ocean. So we really want to protect our ocean from that runoff. People use soap, shampoos. So that is our primary goal, but we do want the community input on what they like about the showers, what they dislike about the showers, so we can take that into consideration.
And we will be out there tomorrow. If anyone wants to come out and visit, we'll have a pop-out event at the Hula Mound. We have flyers for the board and we've left flyers in the back. There is a QR code here so that you can fill out the survey regarding the showers. Very simple, 3 to 5 minutes. what you like, what you don't like. We really want to hear your input. Please help us out and fill this in so that we can pass the community input onto the design team. Any questions? Yes, sir.
John, could you do that on the side with her? Appreciate it if you could talk to her on the side about that. Okay, thank you.
Are we good?
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
sorry, we're so
Please
limited
move
on
this
time.
back. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Yes, next.
Hi, my name is Nicole Anchetta. I came here back in October to address the bathrooms down the street next to the Kohio statue off Ohua and Kalakaua that have been broken for 3 years. I've lived here off Ohua for 6 years. So the past 3 years, they've been broken. I've been trying to talk to the mayor, the city, Parks and Recs. I feel Parks and Recs just closed it without the city even acknowledging it. And I felt like there was being some leeway. I got a long reply email from Laura Thielen of Parks and Rec stating that new pumps and the mechanics of supplies were being ordered back in September, and that would take 6 to 8 weeks. So I gave it a couple months. I called who she directed me to because she didn't leave her information, the manager at Kapiolani Park, and they're still waiting on it. But if nobody speaks up about it, it just goes silent again. So here I am again, complaining about the same thing, but it's our community. There's no bathroom. Every time I walk past there, there's tourists trying to go to the bathroom. This puts a big burden on the hotels. You know, as locals, we're trying to sneak into the hotel bathrooms, and summer's around the corner. And my family, plenty of local families, all our friends surf literally down the street. And there's nowhere to go to a bathroom for emergency. There's been the Ho'olaulea back probably the end of summer. Both bathrooms were closed. Vendors were trying to use the bathrooms and they have their shop set up and there's no bathroom to use. And there's just no response back from the city or Parks and Recs. And I feel like there's hearsay that nothing's going to happen. And I just want to know who's really in charge or stopping this from happening, which our community tourism absolutely needs.
Finley?
Thank you.
Chair
Nate,
Finley?
do you want to take her number?
Yeah, we feel your frustration on this. That's probably been the most problematic. So my name is Nate Sirota. In my professional capacity, I work for Parks and Rec. That's definitely been one of the most problematic conversations we've had. The combination of the pumps that have gone down, the vandalism that we get from people shoving things down the toilets. At the amount of time our maintenance folks have to unclog toilets around the island is unfathomable. But we're going to work with the Waikīkī Business Improvement District to try and, we're trying to figure out a good solution because it's a combination of things that require us to close it down on a regular basis. So we feel your frustration because we're frustrated about it as well too. So as soon as I'm able to, get some good answers, I'll report it back to you folks, but we hear you loud and clear. Sure.
You need the mic?
Yeah, let's chat afterwards too.
Thank you. Go ahead, Tim.
Tim Gary. I'd like to reiterate this. This is an absolute failure of government. From the mayor to Parks and Rec to the health department. Guess what? Bathrooms closed. Somebody's got to go to the bathroom. Where are they going to go? They go on the beach. They go in the bushes. They go on the sidewalk. Why the hell can't you get this done? This is ridiculous. 3 years. That's 1,100 days to fix a problem. If your house, your toilet was broken, would you wait 3 years to get it fixed? This is absolute dereliction of responsibility, Nate. You're the spokesperson for Parks and Rec. And you can only go, well, we can't get the parts, we can't get this, we can't get that. The excuses have run dry. You need to get some action. I've told Rick this. Everybody knows about it. Oh, we're working on it. Like I said, if it was your house, your condo, and your toilet was out, would you wait 3 years to fix it? Seriously.
Thank you.
Tim, first and foremost, please don't put words in my mouth. Second of all, just to clarify,
Excuse me, gentlemen.
no, but to address one thing, it hasn't been continuously closed for 3 years. It's been on. We have had made repairs, but they didn't last long, unfortunately. So, yeah. I'm not lying, Tim. No, I'm not.
Gentlemen.
Point
keep
of
your
order.
voices down. Thank you. Tim, one more outburst and I'll ask you to leave. Thank you. How many more do we have?
Hi, everybody. John Dutzman. I just want to address the woman talking about the guy running for governor who wants to help the homeless. We spend $500 million a year statewide on the homeless. The city, our number one arrest in Waikīkī is homeless. 84% of the arrests of Waikīkī are homeless. Okay. The underlying problem is that now we have really solid research on this, that only 6% of the people accept help. Only 94% reject help. There's nothing that any new governor is going to do to change that formula. And the ultimate problem is when people who are severely mentally ill and physically ill combined, when they pick them up and take them to the hospital, they spit them out. When people are found unfit for trial, mentally incapable of understanding the charges against them, they kick them back out in the street. That's what happens. So you could put more billions of dollars into it. You're not going to solve the problem. Most of these people are addicted to crystal meth. Crystal meth takes at least 1 year. The research says 14 months in the MRI to clear your brain. Until we solve the crystal meth problem, until we shut it down in a little teeny island in the middle of the Pacific, we'll talk about excuses. It's worse than the bathroom. Oh, we can't do that. We tried. BS. That has to stop. We're just going to have this cycle of the same people. They just did the homeless count. It's going to be identical as it was the year before, after $500 million. And the problem is not with the government, it's the underlying deeply entrenched negative behaviors of these people. Some of them can't be helped. They're schizophrenic. Some of them are drug addicts. Some of them are both. And some of them are just flat out criminals. So if somebody's running for governor, like, oh, let's put more money into this, give me his name because I won't vote for him. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Karen Boyer. I'm a longstanding member of the community, and I hope what I have to say is not controversial, but in reviewing the minutes from your last month, I just wanted to make a brief comment that I'm here with Katie Thompson. We would respectfully urge the neighborhood board to support a letter to the acting DLNR chair, Ryan Kanakaole, asking for a citation, first enforcement, and transparent reporting at the Alawai Boat Harbor. You'll be discussing a little bit later tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Jacob.
Aloha, Chair. Thank you for the opportunity. Jacob Winsek. I think one of the themes we're seeing emerge tonight really is that a lot of us are genuinely tired of, seems like things not getting solved. And, you know, I've been up here asking for foot patrols to combat social disorder and people treating the sidewalks like they're highways. And, you know, we've gone, you know, spent years and years and years talking about homelessness, and it feels like nothing's getting done. And when you look at the state of our parks, of our beaches, of our public facilities, they are not taken care of. They are pretty dilapidated. So I think what we're hearing tonight is a cry for our government officials, for our responsible stakeholders to be more proactive, to get out there and get in front of solutions. You know, this community has been very tolerant and patient for solutions and trying to work with people, but oftentimes it seems to be getting us nowhere. So I would just encourage everyone listening, responsible stakeholders, government officials at the state and city level, you know, we need more bolder, proactive action taking. You know, we can't just be reactive. We can't just be delaying. So don't be afraid to take action. This community will back up those who decide to take action decisively and for the benefit of Waikīkī. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm Denise Boisvert. I wanted to address all of the lovely trees we have along the sidewalks in Waikīkī and how many of them have their grate missing and there's like an inch or two of a drop. It's a real tripping hazard around the base of the tree. And there are dozens of them. I mean, some of them have nothing, some have half a semicircle of grate, metal grate around the tree. And it's a real tripping hazard. I see people like on crowded sidewalks, you know, twisting their, you know, foot. Anyway, I don't know if it's a mayor's thing or a Parks and Recs. I don't know who does that, but maybe the ambassadors could like take note of how many are where, maybe even put river rocks or something around, but something to stop the holes around the trees, because the older I get, the more I'm concerned about tripping hazards. Anyway, that's one thing. So someone could deal with that. I don't think I'm the only one who has seen those. Another thing is if the Waikīkī Neighborhood Board recalls several years ago, the residents opposite the Ritz-Carlton residences had a pretty bad issue with the lighting in their open stairwell. And after it was built and that came about, they had to correct it. And I just wanted to bring up the building that is being built where the old King's Village is. There's going to be, it looks like, an open stairwell. So if somebody could talk to them just to make sure that those lights don't blast into the buildings, the residential buildings, and I'm sure the hotels as well. So they don't have to buy everybody blackout curtains or whatever. I just wanted to bring that up to your attention before it happens.
Thank you. We have a recommendation. Call 311. Give them the specific location of the problem you're talking about. That way the city will respond, are supposed to respond to those complaints. They want to know the exact location. So.
Yeah, so if I may, yeah, the application actually works really good in that regard because you can take pictures and we can geotag the locations. So the street trees are under parks jurisdiction, but then we work with Department of Facility Maintenance on like patching of sidewalks. So it's kind of a joint jurisdictional effort, but 311 is really good because it kind of cuts through a lot of that and gets it directly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, go ahead.
Hi, this is Junko Galiste. I live in Waikīkī for many years. My concern is parking, illegal parking, both sides, Prince Edward Street, beginning, corner of Prince Edward Street, one way, and Liliuokalani, one way, just a corner. It's very bad situation because recently, about 1 year ago, there is a food court opened up the corner of Liliuokalani and Prince Edward Street. And the vendor, morning time, daytime, evening time, I call a couple of times the police to remove the car because I cannot go into my parking garage in the Prince Edward Street. It's happened almost 24 hours. So it's not a good situation, the who live in that street, Prince Edward Street. Sometimes a big truck pass by from the beginning of Prince Edward Street all the way. They could not. So I call police in the morning, evening, many times. So I mentioned to the policemen that they cannot watch good. If possible, maybe can put some camera to more enforce their parking. Do not parking sign is not enough, I think. So in order to city get the permit for the vendors, they should understand there is no parking that area. They abuse the public road. So I really want somebody to help the resident to make it a better life for the parking situation, just the public road. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Laura Ruby, have you got your hand up?
Yes, my hand is up. I'm waiting. Yes, thank you very much. This is in your Kuleana, and I hope to be, think you'll be proactive, and I hope that your board will take some action. First of all, you have the Kuleana, you have the right to ask for any parkland or developer land, whatever, that's taking away from the community to be equally placed in acreage somewhere within your neighborhood and fully manage and service that neighborhood. What's going to happen should there be a large overbuilt bridge going across the size of on your side of the canal will be approximately the size of an aircraft carrier. So you should try to now designate open space or eminent domain or something. And I would believe it would be the managing editor, DTS, DPPS, any of the other people that would be setting it up now so that you have it in a proactive way so that it is your parkland that you'll have it. And then the other thing is also from the managing director also, you have something that's called the zero build, and that goes along the whole both sides of the Alawai Canal. And what is the enforcement of it and what is the management of it at this time? And then third is there is a tremendous overlapping of the special improvement districts. That is Waikīkī Special Improvement District, Diamond Head Special Improvement District, and now coming forward, the Alawai Watershed Improvement District. They're overlapping in ways that probably shouldn't be. And I think you probably need to pull your area back into just Waikīkī proper so that you can concentrate on all buildings be retrofitting 7 feet above for the rising sea level. That would be the most important thing that you could do for your community. There's other things over in the Waikīkī, in the Alawai Watershed District, we of course would be continuing to work on flooding control and things like that. And Diamond Head will work on their own things also. And that I would say that they came out with the 394 pages on the HANDS thing were the plans that were set up for developers for should there be a bridge, and there is no plans for maintenance or security at all. And I just noticed that one of the earlier reports here, there's something that's going out for 20-year operational
Please summarize.
You should have those. That is fine. That's quite a number of things, but it can be proactive. You can do good things for the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg, I think I saw your hand there.
Yes. Thank
I'm
you,
sorry.
Chair.
Oh,
So
there you
again,
go.
Greg Misakian. Yep, if you can hear me. I would like to echo what Tim said earlier with his concerns regarding the restroom and many other projects throughout Waikīkī that seem to be deferred maintenance for very long periods of time. I would also ask the chair to please respect the public when the public is, the public spoke, but then a member of the board, board member Sirota, decided to speak without being recognized, and that should not happen. The public has a right to voice concerns, and that should be priority at these board meetings. That's always been a concern I had when I was on the board. I will also ask, and this is to DLNR. I haven't called yet. I've been very busy last few days, but I just very recently went for a swim, and I have a very concerning thing to bring to the attention of the board if the board is not aware of this or if DLNR is not aware of this. Coming walking back from the ocean, from the swim, where the main groin is, where the Sheraton is, the walkway that goes in front of the Sheraton. As we were walking on that walkway, we noticed the sand was going completely across the walkway. This was prior to the recent storm. And the sand was coming all the way up and into the wall, but we noticed also that the walkway actually was dipped. So shortly after where you go up the steps from where the groin is, maybe about 10 or 15 feet in approximately, there seems to be a dip there. That's a very big concern. If that dip goes deeper and, it's starting to erode, that needs to be addressed not 3 years from now. That needs to be addressed today. And additionally, one thing I forgot to add, there were very jagged rocks in the area where the groin is on the beach that I'm assuming came from the sand being eroded away because they seem to be buried. But there were many of them and very dangerous. If somebody ever fell onto one of those rocks, they literally could die. They were sharp, jagged, black colored rocks, maybe previously from volcanic, whatever activity, but they couldn't have come in from the ocean. I don't believe that's possible. They were very large. It seemed like they were eroded from the beach.
Okay, we're out of
Two
time. Please summarize.
That's okay. I'm wrapped. Two major concerns that I would like this board to please address and for DLNR to please address. Thank you.
Thank you. Did I have any other? Oh, good. Okay, we've had an exciting, lots of interesting things. We hope that we can get them resolved. Next on our agenda, and I lost the note from Sarah. King's Runner, is that in Waikīkī? I don't think it is. We'll get it down. Okay, schedule of major events, parades, etc. Sunday, March 13th, 2026. Good grief. 7:15 a.m. to 1 p.m. the Honolulu Rainbow Etiquette Race, which is mostly in the Kapiolani Park area. Sunday, March 15th, from 3:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Honolulu Festivals Parade. Tuesday, March 17th, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. I didn't have the dates on the last two, the Kohio Day Parade and the Vietnam Veterans Day Parade. That'll be next month. And which one is this? There's on March 1st, King's Runner 10K, 5 a.m. the roads close, 9 a.m. the roads reopen. Okay, Veterans Day, we've got it March 28th. That's why it would be on the next agenda. Okay, it starts at 5:30 p.m. till 8 p.m. Those are all the events that we know about. I don't see any event people out here. Okay, applications for liquor license. Tuesday on the 26th. Okay, there's a special liquor license for Kaiolu Street, 403 Kaiolu Street for beer and wine. And it would be a 1 day of 1 year event. What one of these 1 year special liquor licenses is all about is the Liquor Commission is so backed up that they give a special license to operate while they consider the vendor. Elected officials, Nola, are you here? Representing Mayor Blangiardi? Nola?
Was there a comment about the liquor, one of the liquor licenses?
Oh. Asked about the upcoming events.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Nola, could you wait just a second? I didn't see your hand back there, sir. Which event are you talking about? Okay. No one seemed to have any questions about it.
Hi, my name is John Chang on behalf of the Honolulu Festival and coordinated by Events Extraordinaire. I'm here to take any questions you might have on the Honolulu Festival Grand Parade. It's a legacy parade. Again, as Chair said, it's on Sunday, March 15th. It approximately starts at 4, though road closure should start at about 3:30. I
Any
believe
questions
there
about the
should
event?
be fireworks this year also, yes, at the end.
Okay. Any other questions about this event? Seeing none, thank you for being with us.
Good evening, Chair, members of the Waikiki Neighborhood Board. Thanks so much for having me. I guess I wanted to make a couple announcements from the mayor's monthly newsletter. I guess one of the key things that we're celebrating is Black History Month and also the 175th anniversary of the Honolulu Fire Department. So that's very exciting. We also got a new ocean safety deputy chief. His name is, I met him too, just recently, Jimmy Barros. So I think with Kurt Lager and Jimmy, we now have a full regular appointed Department of Ocean Safety. So I think that's great news and they're doing great things so far. What I did want to mention is our summer fun, and I don't know, Nate might want to mention this too, but the applications for summer fun are open. And so for anyone that wants to have their children enrolled in summer fun, it's bit.ly/apply summer fun. And so we encourage everyone to apply early because it does get filled up and it's based on space available. But there are also summer jobs for those of you who know students who are coming home from college or in between or at any college, the college age people. And even, I think they may take some high school students, but that's a good question for Nate. But we start, the pay starts at $17 an hour, and it's a great experience for people who want a summer job. So anyways, let us know. You can go to probably the same website. Okay, so from last month, I have a couple of updates and responses from the departments. So the first question was the Kuhio bus lane. Member Almu provided evidence of vehicles using the Kuhio bus lane to pass slower vehicles or to avoid left turning cars, which creates dangerous situations and further congestion. So the HPD said that from January 24 to 31, District 6 officers made daily checks along Kuhio Avenue, specifically the bus lane area at various times during the day and evening. 3 citations were issued. Excuse me. Officers will continue to monitor the area and take appropriate action when violations occur. And DTS suggests that information on these incidents be brought to the attention of HPD for further observation and enforcement of traffic safety regulations. So I think, again, the 311 app is something that can be used for these kinds of notices to HPD. And the neighborhood commission officer note was that, oh, I'm sorry, this was just a referral to HPD. Okay. Okay, so there was a complaint or comment about loud music. A resident raised concerns regarding street performers playing loud music along Kalakaua Avenue. And HPD had this similar response that they had made daily checks during the day and evening along both sides of Kalakaua Avenue. And they were not able to find street performers with amplified music who were in violation, and no citations were issued. But again, they'll monitor the area, and they'd appreciate if the residents would contact them via 311 when violations do occur, just to let them know. Okay, so there was a comment about the webpage. Resident Wensick conveyed dissatisfaction with HPD, HFD, and Planning Commission website, noting the difficulty to find information regarding commission meetings. He advised using the Neighborhood Commission office as a template, as their records are easily accessible and their calendar is informative. So there were three different responses from three different departments. The HFD, the Fire Commission meetings are scheduled on the third Wednesday of each month at 10:30 a.m. in the Honolulu Fire Department Auditorium located at 636 South Street. The HFC web page can be accessed at fire.honolulu.gov/Honolulu-Fire-Commission, and clearly provides posted meeting agenda and minutes. There was a response from DPP, and they said that they are aware of the difficulty people may have navigating the Planning and Commission's website, which is currently linked on the DPP main landing page under organizations and contacts. DPP is currently working on their website to better comply with the April 2024 ADA compliance deadline, and this will include making the boards and commissions pages more easily identifiable and accessible. And finally, a response from HBD. On January 30, 2026, Major Parker Bodie spoke with Jacob Winsick via telephone and informed him that the Honolulu Police Commission links to the meetings are housed on the HPC website. And Mr. Winsick was provided with the website information and the clarification. Okay, so the next item was regarding DTS speed limits. Resident Amin asked whether the Department of Transportation Services is responsible for adjusting speed limits. And we got this from Director Roger Morton today. He said, yes, we have speed zone responsibility, and we have an active project to lower the speed limits on Date Street from 35 to 25, not part of Waikīkī. However, they also plan to lower the speed limit on Alawai from 35 to 25 miles an hour, but have not yet sent a work order in for signage changes, which needs to be done by DFM, facilities maintenance, but they believe it will be in the near future. Additionally, the city council has passed an ordinance to reduce school zone speed limits to 20 miles an hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and that would impact Puhio and Kapahulu in the vicinity of Jefferson School. Okay, the next item is for DTS also. Okay, this is a similar question, I think. What is the process to lower the speed limit from the merging lane of Kapahulu Avenue to Alawai Boulevard? And asked if it's possible to add speed humps on the 4 lanes near the merge. So this is, I guess it's related but separate. DTS said they will be conducting an investigation, which may require research, site inspections, and an analysis of the area's traffic collision history. They will inform the board of their findings when they complete their investigation. I think there's another one or two. There's one more question that was posed last month. The ambulance wait time. Resident Steiner raised concerns regarding the long wait time for ambulance services, citing a recent event that took an hour for the ambulance to arrive. And so this is going to require an extension from HESD to respond, and we will be, I guess, responding to that next month. That's it. That's it.
Questions for the mayor? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Besides the one notice about the reporting people that are going into the other lane, going into the bus lane, or my understanding is, weren't they doing a study, or there's no follow-up yet? from the study for the installing turn signals at all of the intersections that would stop this other process?
I think that was the first response, which came from HPD.
No, we were told that they were going to do another study because there's 3 or 4, 5 different intersections that do not have turn arrows, which are the big cause of people going into the bus lane because you have to set through the light, multiple lights, waiting for a car to make a left because it takes forever between the pedestrians and the turn arrows. And my understanding, there was supposed to be a study. But just calling HPD, that's not a solution.
This is the same one. This is. Yes,
Right.
it's probably in process, but we haven't
Okay.
had, that
Okay.
was just only, it takes some more.
I've asked DTS to be with us next month to explain these things.
I thought
They were
were
going to be
coming
here this month, but we got such a busy agenda. So Renee and the director Morton are planned to be here in March. And I gave them all your list of all the streets that we have difficulties with. Any other questions for the mayor? Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next month to discuss the bus lane issue at that time. But just as a mayor's representative, I think somehow the point is being missed here. It wasn't that the request was for HPD to go out and write a bunch of more tickets. It was that there shouldn't be a situation where people have the choice of either sitting half an hour to get to an intersection or going around the car when it's clear. I don't think anybody should be forced to be in that situation. And again, the simple solution would be just to install left turn arrows. So I think somehow the point's being missed. It's not that we want more tickets to be written. We want people to be in a situation where they don't have to break the law in order to move at a reasonable pace. I think we all want traffic moving. So just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Board members, any more questions? Go ahead. Nate.
Not necessarily a question, but I was talking, sir, with Nikki back here, and I heard you mention summer fun hiring. Is that what you mentioned? Yes, please. If you know anyone who is interested in working for summer fun, the more staff we have, the more keiki we can accommodate. I think the closest summer fun sites that we have to Waikīkī are Kilauea District Park and Macaulay District Park. Even teenagers, if they're looking for some experience with childcare, we do take junior leaders as well too. They're an integral part of making summer fun for the kids. It's a fantastic program, and it's no more than $125 per kid. It's really excellent childcare for the summer. Thank you for bringing that up, Noah.
So Nate, I mentioned 2 things. One, signing up for children to attend, but then there's some jobs that are available for aides. Is that the same website then, or is it a different website for the jobs?
Everything's online now. So yes, it is the same website. If all summer fun websites, it'll have links or information about working for a summer fun. So yes, it's all online. And yeah, the registration will be in, I think it's early to mid-May. We'll have an announcement about that for registering your kids.
Renee, are you online? Did you have a
Hi.
question, Renee?
Yes, this is Ren. What were the dates that you said that the HPD cited people going into the bus lane? It was January 24th to when?
Well, there were 2, I guess there were 2 items. One was the bus lane and one was the loud music, but January 24th to 31 for about a week, they patrolled those 2 areas specifically to look at people using the bus lane illegally, I guess, and the loud noises.
Okay. Yeah, Tim, thank you. I concur with you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I just thanked Tim. I just agreed with what he had said about the miscommunication of why we're bringing attention to people going into the other lane. It's not to cite him, it's to prove to a point that people are getting frustrated and doing illegal things.
Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Okay, Greg, you had something? Greg, is your hand up?
Aloha. Thank you, Chair. Yes. Aloha, Nola. Nice to see you. I just want to make sure you heard what I said regarding the Waikīkī Beach. I'm not sure if you were listening to what I said, but the concern was that near the main groin, where close to the Sheraton, there are quite a few actually, very large exposed jagged rocks. They're dark in color, like they look almost black. I've never seen that before in that area, the way they were. And it's very, very dangerous. And then when we were walking along the walkway there in front of the Sheraton, as soon as you go up the steps and take the left to start on the walkway from where the groin is, the main groin, there is a dip in the walkway, and the sand was completely coming over the walkway too. So it appears that there's some below the walkway, it's starting to give out, and it needs to be addressed urgently, because I think that walkway is just going to continue to sink down like that. And we don't want to have to close that one and have like another, like the other section was closed. I don't even know if that's open at this point, but if we have to close that section, that's a huge problem if there's a repair needed. So getting in quick and fixing it quickly is the best option, I think, and shoring up that wall.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the mayor from the community? Seeing none. Thank you, Nola. I hope your cold gets better.
Thank you.
Does Chair Waters have a representative? Okay.
Aloha, Chair.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hey, Chair Finley and members of the Waikīkī Neighborhood Board. I'm Adam Dew from Council Chair Tommy Waters' office. I believe Tasha Luke from our office had emailed our February newsletter out to the board members earlier today. It could also be found on the City Council's website. I do want to thank Director Miyazaki for her very thorough mayor's report. I know that this board meeting has a long agenda, so I'll try to keep mine short and sweet. I'm excited to announce that Chair Waters will be announcing tomorrow the $1 million donation from the Hilton Grand Vacations to the Waikīkī Business Improvement District. This will fund a revitalization of Kohio Beach Park, one of Waikiki's most heavily used and iconic public spaces. Chair Waters will be joined by Mayor Blangiardi, DPR Director Laura Thielen, WBID President Trevor Arbour-Zula, and representatives from the Hilton Grand Vacations for the announcement. We extend our thanks to DPR for already removing the benches at the park, and to the Hilton Grand Vacations and the WBID for their partnership and collaborative work in advancing these improvements. We also want to thank the neighborhood board for unanimously adopting a motion of support back in October when Trevor presented the project to the board. The announcement will be 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning in front of the Prince Kohio statue. Neighborhood board members and the community are welcome to attend. I hope to see member Sirota out there. You know, this board is really lucky to have him on the board. He's a great resource that our board often leans on. Then lastly, I do want to briefly talk about Bills 64 and 65, which was sponsored by Chair Waters and recently passed into law by Mayor Blangiardi, which now requires the budget and fiscal services to provide reports that will help to ensure some of the normally lapsed funds so that they can go things towards our residents and what the department's needs, or to defray cost increases. These bills allow the council to see where those unspent dollars are going and which departments are leaving money on the table and which programs are running short and need help. So with that, I'm happy to take back any questions to Chair Waters.
Questions for Chair Waters, for Adam? Questions for Chair Waters? Did you have a question? Make it a question, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for attending. I would like to say I stand in strong support of Bills 5 and 6, which just made it out of first reading at the council last session. Those bills will have a transformative effect on achieving our affordable housing goals, and I ask that Chair Waters continue to support those through the legislative process. I cannot state strongly enough how much I oppose Bill 17, which would gut our Bill 7 affordable housing programs. You know, we need to use every tool in our toolkit, and I plead with the council chair to not support this bill. I understand there's some community concerns about height and whatnot, but we cannot kill this bill, especially with the repeal date being moved left instead of moved right. That would just set Honolulu back tremendously. And I would just like to say, given some of the comments and concerns that have been made today, I know the city budget is coming up for review. So any funding we can allocate to maintenance, to taking care of our public spaces, our parks, our beaches, our facilities, I strongly encourage the council chair to support providing that additional funding. We need to take care of our infrastructure and our public spaces, and I hope we can use the upcoming budget discussions to make that a reality. Mahalo.
Thank you, Jacob. I will share your feedback with Chair Waters. You always have great, well thought out comments. So thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. My name's Dale Vanderbrink. I had a question for Chair Waters regarding the derelict property on the corner of Kuhio and Seaside Avenue. Specifically, he was on an interview earlier today where he mentioned that he spoke to the ABC Stores owners that they said they're waiting on permits for the building, which is why they're not doing any sort of construction. And I was wondering if Chair Waters can inquire with DPP on what permits they're waiting on, because he said he had a meeting with the owner in his office. So I was hoping he would have more knowledge of that.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll provide a more thorough report on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dale.
Other members of the community, members of the board, members online? See nothing. Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Does Senator Moriwaki have a representative here tonight? She must be busy legislating. Representative Tam, I saw you. Oh, there he is. Can you stay with us when we discuss our bills that we're going to support? Good, thank you.
Want to leave? Thank you so much for having me here today. Thank you, Chair. You all have my newsletter, and if you don't, it's all in the back on that table. I'm going to keep my remarks really short so that we can talk about these bills. But for Senator Moriwaki and I will be having a town hall on March 2nd, 2026 at the Jefferson School Elementary Library at 6:00 p.m. This is your chance to ask us any questions about bills or concerns about the community, what other bills that we might not have been aware of because there are a couple thousands of them that you would like us to flag and keep track of for you. You can either email us or go to this town hall, or there's many ways to contact us. Please continue to email my office regarding your thoughts on bills and legislation. And finally, I see that you guys will be discussing a number of bills here. Thank you for that. What I will do is I will keep track of all those bills. Hopefully you guys can give me like something written about what ends up coming out of that. But I will be keeping track of all these bills and I will give you updates on what's moving, what's dead, and what changes happens through the amendment and hearing process that happens with these bills. Okay, any questions?
Questions for Representative Tim? Yes, sir.
Hi, Rep. Tam. I wanted to ask about the two bills in regards to the Tourism Authority.
Yeah.
I know one was deferred, but the second one would eliminate it and divide up its functions between DBED and DLNR. I was wondering if you can speak on kind of why you want to do that bill now, given what happened to the Tourism Authority last year.
Yeah, so there's been discussions about moving the bill of destination management to DLNR because there are some members that have felt that that was a better place to house destination management because they have offices on each island and county, and they also are better situated in a position to address any kind of like hotspot management in certain hikes, beaches, and other nature areas. During a hearing today, we did receive concerns, and some members have expressed that destination management is not just about DLNR, so we did strip it out of that bill. So it's no longer going to create a division of of destination management in DLNR. But what we have continued to do is that we are going to try to embed the Hawaii Tourism Authority into DBED because for Senate Bill 1571 from last year, we had downgraded it to an advisory board position, and they're no longer a Hawaii Tourism Authority because of all the chaos that's happened last year. So the efforts now is to move this bill forward as a cleanup bill to embed it more into DBED and have a new position called the Office of the Tourism Liaison, which will be headed by the DBID director. That way it would better help address destination management concerns because that liaison will have a connection to the governor's cabinet to discuss with the chair of DLNR or the director of Department of Transportation to better manage our current tourism sites. That's always been an issue if you had read the audit regarding HTA and their DMAP process from last year. So that was kind of the crux of the bill.
Jacob.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Rep. Tam, for coming down here. I know you're very busy at the state capitol this season. I just want to make two quick comments. First one on Bill HB 1612. Hawaii is notoriously economically uncompetitive by various rankings from various organizations. And this bill would focus our economic competitiveness and focus the state government on getting the state more economically competitive. We face a lot of economic pressures right now. Tourism hasn't rebounded, and God knows what's going on in Washington with tariffs and budget uncertainty. So we've really got to boost our private sector. We've really got to grow the private economy in Hawaii. So I'm glad that you voted in favor of it, and I hope that you'll continue voting in favor of it so it becomes state law. I would also like to speak in strong support of HB 1650. Now, Hawaii is being crushed under our Byzantine regulatory system. Everyday people, working middle-class families are being crushed. We need regulatory relief. It's contributing to our affordability problem. And it's just, we need to streamline and we need to pick what's more important. And for me, it's more important that people are able to afford living here and we don't lose the wonderful people that we already have living, not just in Waikīkī, but statewide. So thank you for your support on 1612, and I hope to see your support on 1650. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tim, you had something?
Yeah, Adrian, I'd like to get your comments on the ethics of our lieutenant governor. I'm sure you've seen the news last couple of days. It seems I don't want to make any allegations or whatever, but the fish kind of stinks. And I just wondered if you wanted to comment on campaign spending commission and what their actions or lack of actions were on this issue. And as a legislative body, how do you guys feel about it? Thank you.
Thank you. I am aware. I've seen the headlines. The fact is, it has left me with more questions rather than answers. So I think that, first of all, I appreciate the Lieutenant Governor for coming forward. Even though some of the statements has left me with more questions, as I mentioned. So I fully support and continuing the investigation on discovering who took the $35,000 in a paper bag.
Greg, I see your hand up. Do you have a comment?
I do. Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing, but I have a little bit more to add. I do serve on the Good Government Caucus that's chaired by Representative Bellotti. Also, Representative Souza is on the Republican side. So it's a bipartisan caucus, and we are now meeting regularly. So we met yesterday. There are 2 House resolutions that were put forward that are sitting. House leadership, Representative Nakamura needs to take action to present that in chamber to a session. And there needs to be a vote, what to do. But when you talk about an investigation, which now there's a brand new story, I don't think everybody here could have seen it yet because it came out within the last hour. So it's requesting the Attorney General recuse herself. But there needs to also be a parallel investigation by the legislators. This is your body. This is one of your own that may have done this. And you can convene a committee to do that. Mr. Silver has said that, Mr. Alexander Silver, who also sits on the caucus. And you've yet to do that. So what is your position on that, Representative, as far as what you think should be done within your own body that should be looking at your own legislators and the ethics within your own body? If you could tell us, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. As I stated, I support the current AG's investigation, and the House has reaffirmed that it will cooperate with the AG if the AG has asked any kind of questions of us or needs us to cooperate. If the time comes that the investigation comes inconclusive and it warrants a House investigation, I will support that as well.
So
Any
you do
other
support a
questions?
committee investigation? Okay, I just want to clarify, you do support a committee investigation to be convened within your own body? You would support that?
If the time comes that it is warranted, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for, oh, go ahead. Don't see out of the side of my head.
I just had a question. I was reading your newsletter and I wanted to hear about your safe driving program that we could all win gift cards for safe driving. What is that?
I downloaded the app.
There's a new app.
Yeah, it's called Safe Roads. It's an initiative from the Department of Transportation to bring our road fatality rates down. What it does is use the app, download the app, allow the location settings to be turned on, and you just start driving. It'll calculate how you drive with a score of whether you use your phone, if you're speeding, if you're braking too fast, if you're accelerating too fast, steadiness, swerving. A lot of car insurance companies have this program to try to incentivize individuals to drive more safer with the ability to possibly lower their rates. But this app will, if you score over 70, every week you get a chance to enter in to win gift cards. I mean, I got a $25 gift card to Target on it, so I'm really happy. I drive really well. So yeah, download the app. It's called Safe Roads.
How do I follow that up? Ralph?
Representative Tam, I just wanted to note that I hope that you move along with this Hawaii Tourism Authority. As I understand it, visitors are down 4% last month.
Yeah. it's a worldwide trend that I'm concerned about too. Yeah.
Anything else for the representative? Seeing nothing, seeing no hands. Thank you for being with us, and we hope you'll stick around for a little while.
I will. Thank you so much.
In this tiny screen, I see that Senator Moriwaki's chief of staff is here. Would you
Aloha.
care to brief
I'm not
us?
the chief of staff, but thank you very much for the introduction. I'm very sorry I had connection issues a few moments ago, so I wasn't able to be called on time. But I'm placing a link in the chat for the senator's written remarks for the legislative update. I'll keep my remarks brief, but the session is now underway. We're approaching some of the first major deadlines for bills. I've placed a link to a list of the major bills that we're supporting and tracking this year in that written report. In other news, she was on Hawaii News Now. Some of you may have seen giving a interview on various priorities for this session, for the district. And other than that, if anyone has any questions for the senator, I'd be happy to take it back. Thank you very much.
Other questions for Senator Moriwaki? Greg.
Aloha. Were you able to hear my question for Representative Tam a moment ago? Were you online at that point?
Unfortunately not. I'm so sorry, Mr. Misakian.
Okay, no worries. So I just would like to know if you could go back to Senator Moriwaki, if you could go back and ask her the same question that I asked a moment ago regarding if she supports convening a committee to internally investigate within the legislative body the concerns regarding the $35,000 potential bribe. As you probably know, there's news stories that are going very quickly today. There's another one that just came out, which you may not have seen within the last hour. It was posted at Civil Beat. And I do sit on the Good Government Caucus with Representative Bellotti and others, and Mr. Silvert. And the concern is that there's two House resolutions that have been put forward, and they need to be put forward to the floor so that the body of the House can vote and make a decision. And I want to know, and I'd like to know for the next meeting or even sooner if we can get an answer, does Senator Moriwaki support moving forward with the internal body? The last time I asked her, she said that this is an investigation that should be done outside, but the most recent story that came out said that the AG herself should recuse herself and the office, and there should be an independent investigator assigned. So it's getting more concerning with the lieutenant governor now making comments that were on the news. So I'd appreciate if you could go back and let her know my serious concerns. Again, sitting on the Good Government Caucus, and I represent Kapuna in two organizations that I serve on as president and vice president. So I'm very concerned with this issue.
I will absolutely ask her if her position has changed since the new news has come out.
Thank you so much. Aloha.
I don't see any other hands, any other onlines. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Chair.
Governor's representative, Yvonne. And I'd like to thank the director's status for her nice letter about the Alawai Boat Harbor.
I was hoping I hadn't overlooked anything because Chair had asked that we have a DLNR representative here, but it's been addressed.
Yes.
Okay.
We would certainly like to see follow-ups on two critical areas, the license plate reader program and the signage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may follow up with you in email. I think I had taken it forward to the governor's office, and with session starting, I didn't get a name, but I can go back.
I'll send you an email.
Okay. So I'll put that phone down because that's what that was about. I'm also going to take note of the discussion about the bills that this board wants to have under hearing or proposed to the legislature. And then just very quickly, and I've circulated the governor's newsletter, the strong focus on affordability moving forward, among other things. So welcome questions on that. The green fee, Waikiki's allocation within that sustainable tourism bucket of 42 million is $7 million. And I believe another 7 million on the list to help with the Ala Moana Beach Park restoration. But I heard very clearly that those are concerns of this community. So I'm taking note. Just wanted to share. Might not be enough, but some money from that new visitor fee is coming to Waikiki.
Any questions for the governor from the board members? From the members of the community? Oh my God. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, good evening. I hope you could pass on to Governor Green the displeasure of the actions of the lieutenant governor. And as far as ethics go, I believe that he should ask her to resign her position and go off and do something else. Her ethical behavior is over the top. And also to maybe look into the Campaign Spending Commission to see why they didn't pick up on these violations. And in public reports, she said that she donated $25,000 to the Campaign Spending Commission. Where does that money go? Into a desk drawer? What's it used for? I don't understand that aspect either. This whole story is so far-fetched. And the public, a lot of people in the public think it's a very, very tall tale. She's lost confidence. And I hope you can pass that on to him.
I can. I
Thank you.
understood today the governor had prepared a statement. I don't think that statement's been issued yet, but I would expect it will be issued in the very near future.
John?
Good evening. I was in television news for 30 years, spent 15 years as an investigator, both in Miami and New York. Some of the top markets and craziest markets in the country. If I was given the investigation of this case, I would look at the recording or listen to the recording and within 10 minutes know who the person is. And then I would read the laws, which would take up maybe an hour, and maybe consult with our legal people. And by the end of the day, I would be able to put that story on the air. So I don't know why might take until August. So my frustration to express to the governor is I'm an expert in this stuff. Not in a lot of things, but this. I would have that story on the air within one day, legally signed, sealed, and delivered. The longer you delay this, the more sketchy and fishy it gets. Thank you.
Understood. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Hi, so I just kind of want to reiterate what was said about the lieutenant governor and the displeasure and what the revelations that have come out thus far. And it's not really the $35,000 that's at issue. That's a red herring. She openly admitted to campaign finance violations by accepting two $5,000 checks, not disclosing that on her public campaign spending report, refunding one of those checks, which is also not on her campaign spending report, and having a second one that she wasn't able to refund in her campaign accounts for the last 4 years. And that wasn't found out when it was reconciled by her treasurer every quarter. So I'm really just here to say that I'm really displeased with her. Really, I'm a proud Democrat and I'm very much displeased with her actions. And I really want to know, I know you said the governor is going to have a statement, but I really want to know if the governor is going to stand beside her or say if she needs to go because of this. Because at the minimum, she committed a crime, a misdemeanor, if not a felony, if she concealed it, and knowingly so over the years with the two $5,000 checks. So I'm really just displeased with her efforts as someone who has supported her in the past as a Democrat. So
The last hand I see is Greg. Greg, are you there?
Thank you, Chair. I'm here. Aloha, Yvonne. I'm not gonna go into the same questioning on because I echo what they're saying, but for mostly what's been said by the last few people that have spoken. But I want to extend further on this because what's coming up on agenda at this board meeting is legislation, and hopefully we'll get to that in a moment. But with that said, when you look at many of these bills and I look at the people behind them, and I know quite a bit about a lot of these bills and the people that are donating to these campaigns, what's behind many of them is actually lobbyists and attorneys and people that are donating heavily. In fact, in some of these condominium measures, there's one particular attorney that's involved in the measures themselves, and in a way that's written so it's for attorneys because they make more money because there's more conflict, or it doesn't resolve the conflict properly. And in one case, this attorney, I believe it was $4,000, if I'm correct, to Lieutenant Governor, but he's donating to all of the campaign chairs. This needs to stop because I'm sorry if I said campaign chairs. I meant to say committee chairs. My bad for misspeaking. He's donating to the committee chairs, if I didn't say that properly. And those committee chairs hold all the cards. They're the ones that will let the bill go forward, be scheduled for committee hearing, or not go forward. It's their decision. This needs to stop. The governor needs to speak on this whole thing, and whatever legislation is in play for this session needs to be passed. That's for good ethics and campaign reform, campaign donation reform, whatever there are. I'll be testifying on numerous ones. I am again part of the Good Government Caucus, and I would appreciate that you respect the governor's office respects what's happening, the concerns raised by the public, and acts on it. I want to see action. So I appreciate if you could take that message back, because I know there's going to be a lot more coming from this, and I appreciate that.
I hear that. Thank you.
Anything else for the governor? Seeing nothing. Thank you, Yvonne, for being with us tonight. Appreciate it. I realize it's a tough night for the whole state. Next, we have Rick Agate from Waikīkī Improvement Association, who won the contest, who could lose the most weight between he and I. By a
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Not by much. First of all, I'm not sure if it was, anyone brought it up, but in this year's property tax assessments, commercial property anyway, in Waikīkī went down in value. One of the first times I've ever seen that happen. It actually decreased private sector, in other words, commercial property, not residential, actually declined in value from last fiscal year to this next fiscal year. So I think that reflects the economic situation in Waikīkī. You just have to walk around Waikīkī and you see all the empty storefronts. The largest just recently, DFS closed down. And so that's really, I think, a reflection of what's happening in Waikīkī. Our visitor numbers, of course, were down too, but interestingly enough, not as significantly as the total economic value. In other words, we still have decent visitor numbers, but they're just not spending as much, certainly not on shopping. And also there's been a larger turnover in restaurants than we've experienced in the past. So we're undergoing some difficult economic times, and there's a lot of things that we need to do to help to get better. I think that the Business Improvement District and the Beach Improvement Districts have both been doing a lot of good things that have improved Waikīkī. I think we've talked about before that for 3 years in a row, the number of homeless in Waikiki has gone down. And I'll say it again, that we didn't do it by chasing homeless out of Waikiki. In fact, the Business Improvement District won a national award for having the best public program for addressing homelessness. They send out a policeman, a social worker, and a doctor from Waikiki Health Center. And they go out 3 nights a week and they talk to each homeless individual that they can find. Some of them, the doctor is able to administer to right away if they agree. And so right there on the street. The idea is that, and we also hook people up because we have a lot of what our term tourist homeless. In other words, they're not from here, come from somewhere else. They think, oh, Waikiki's paradise. I'm going to live under the coconut tree. And it's not what they think. So we try to, so we don't just give them an airplane ticket like some people do, some jurisdictions, and send them on their way. We have to have a person on the other side, or a relative, or a program that they're sent to in their home state. So I think we're doing a lot of things that we can be proud of, but we're fighting a tough battle. And so I'd like to make sure the residents are aware of it, and we can all work together to make Waikiki better. Thank you. And by the way, I did take note of some of the beach issues. One of the things we were talking about doing is doing another sand replenishment for this next year to bring sand back from offshore onto Kuhio Beach. And of course, the governor's representative also mentioned that there's money for Waikiki Beach in the Green Fee Fund. So I think that we got a lot of work to do, but things will continue hopefully to get better.
Questions for Rick? See none. Thank you for being with us tonight, sir.
Thank you.
And happy belated birthday. Okay. Last month, I asked everybody to provide inputs on what we wanted to talk about for legislation. I have to say that Jillian and Lou worked their tails off on this. They did an amazing amount of work in the 3 days following the bills getting numbered, and recommended a bunch of bills. We also got inputs from Rep. Tam and Senator Moriwaki, as well as Ellison Schaefer. What I'd like to do tonight, so that we can get through this, is I'm going to ask Jillian to make a motion to either support or oppose the bill. I'm going to ask Lou to second them. After our discussion, I'm going to ask for a show of hands. Anybody opposed to the motion? If you do not want the motion, please raise your hands and hold it there so that Anson can keep track of what your vote is on the board. Does that make sense to everybody, I hope? Seeing nobody nodding, we'll move into it. Jillian, would you like to start on your list? I think everybody has a list in front of them that was a lot of hard work. So please go ahead.
Yes, every member of the board has a list, and then if anyone in the audience would like to follow along, there is a pile of extras on that back table. But just to provide some context, why we have so many tonight is we are in the early stages of this year's legislative process, and very quickly these bills will start to dwindle. Some will never get hearings, some will be deferred, some might be voted down. So what we wanted to do was sort of cast a wide enough net so that we don't have to wait for future board meetings. As things are moving quickly, we want to have some authority to provide testimony now, as some of these have already been getting hearings. But we did try to keep them relevant specifically to Waikiki. And then I guess just to reiterate what Bob had mentioned, just for simplicity's sake, the motion I make will be to support every bill. So if you raise your hand, that will be that you oppose the bill. And in this case, I guess we will be providing testimony on every bill that we vote on. So if you raise your hand, that means that you want us to provide testimony in opposition. And if you don't raise your hand, you want us to provide testimony in support, if that makes sense. Proper? Okay. So to begin, I'll go off the number. So bill number 1. I guess I'll begin with the motion to support the intention of Senate Bill 2732 and its companion House Bill 1516. Actually, to begin this list, I would like to retract this from consideration, just because looking further into this bill, it really won't have much of an impact on Waikīkī. Just to give some background, it's just going to change the factors that are looked at as it relates to income for whether someone can afford bail. So if it's okay, I'd like to just move on to number 2. Is that allowed? Okay. So number 2, sorry, the motion will be for the Waikīkī Neighborhood Board to support Senate Bill 2557. This essentially is going to give us more oversight over funds going towards efforts to reduce homelessness. As you can see here, we've been putting $137 million since 2023 into homelessness-related efforts, yet are seeing increases in homelessness. So this is going to require increased reporting on the efforts that are happening and future proposals and coordination between different departments. So.
Okay, second motion.
And for the explanation, any further explanation? Any further discussion on Senate Bill 2557? For board members, since there's no discussion, if you oppose the motion, please raise your hand. Yes. Jeff, Renee, and Catherine, are you? Yes. Okay, okay. So Senate Bill 2557 passes. Our first go, please, for the next one.
Okay, so bill number 3, the motion will be for the Waikīkī Neighborhood Board to support the intent of Senate Bill 2288. And this is kind of a long, complex bill, but it is important for Waikīkī. So just a very brief overview. Essentially, right now, there's this gap between individuals who are found to be imminently dangerous. They're put into treatment programs. For those who are found fit to proceed trial, they go through trial and they can be convicted of a crime and then jailed. But there's that middle ground of an individual who's found unfit to proceed, but not imminently dangerous. And those are the people who are released back onto the streets again and again. So this is looking to close that gap. And it's looking to instead then put those people into treatment as well.
Second motion.
Any further discussion on this measure? Seeing none.
Yeah, this is Jeff.
Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, is there, Jill, is there a cost associated with this or not? I mean, I'm thinking of unfunded mandates or something, but do they just use the same resources they currently have? Or if you don't know, that's fine. And I'd probably still support it, but do you think there's going to be additional costs on social service agencies if we support and approve this? Over.
The bill itself does not have an appropriation, but I mean, I guess you would have to weigh the cost of continuing to arrest individuals versus putting them into those treatment programs.
Good point. Very good point. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I have followed this bill a little bit in my job at the Disability Rights Center. Conceptually, I think it's actually a pretty good idea. What it's trying to say is that if somebody is found not fit to proceed, then typically they try to send them to the state hospital, restore them to fitness. But so the concern is that a lot of times if somebody's not fit to proceed and it's a really minor crime, then they just kind of dismiss the proceedings. The person goes out on the street and then they reoffend, they're not fit again. And there's kind of a revolving cycle. Whereas if you're found fit to proceed, then you suffer the consequences of the thing. So I think what they're trying to say is that there is a paradox that the people that are actually worse off are somehow not being caught up in the system where they can get some treatment. And that's what they're getting at. Personally, I think I have some issues with some of the details in the bill about how they're screened, but I think overall conceptually it's not a bad idea.
Any further discussion on this bill? Any members who oppose the motion to support this bill? Members online? I do not see any hands. This bill, Waikīkī Neighborhood Board supports Senate Bill 2288.
Moving on to Bill number 4, I'd like to make the motion for the Waikiki Neighborhood Board to support the intention of Senate Bill 2445. And I pulled this one just because Waikiki has a lot of pedestrians, a lot of people who currently wander into the roadways. And right now you can be fined up to $100. This would reduce the fine and cap it at $25 if you commit a pedestrian infraction such as crossing outside of a marked crosswalk or entering a crosswalk during a flashing don't walk signal. So reducing the penalty for jaywalking essentially.
I'll second the motion.
Do we have discussion from the board members? I personally oppose this bill. I see too many pedestrians running across the streets, getting hit, hopefully not getting hit by cars. But I don't know if a reduction in the fine will improve the situation. Okay, no further discussion. Show of hands opposing this bill. I have Lisa. Robin has got her hand up on mine. Got more than 7. Sure. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay, actually, it'll be easier for me to ask if you guys, yes, no, or abstain, okay? When I call your name, please say yes, no, or abstain regarding Senate Bill 2445. Jillian?
No.
Okay. Amu?
No.
Rolf? Okay. Lisa? Okay. Okay. D. Orazio? Okay. Erdercheck?
Yes.
Okay. Felix? No. Okay. Finley, of course, no. Hensky?
No.
Okay. Height? Okay. Jacob? Daniel?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Mers?
Abstain.
Okay. Abstain. Nate? Okay. Smith? Nope. And Sarah Worth, which is not online. The no have it. The motion is not.
Moving on, next bill. Waikiki
So-
does not support Senate Bill 2445.
So just to clarify, we will be able to provide testimony in opposition, right? We don't support it, so therefore we'll testify in opposition.
Do you want to take it off? Oh, you support?
The one that we just voted on will be testified on, but in opposition. Yes. Yeah, not that we like threw it out. Okay. Okay. The 5th bill here, similar to the first bill, relates to bail, but reading into it further, there are carve-outs as it relates to public safety concerns, so would like to recommend to not take a stance on this, if that's okay. The 5th one on the list, Senate Bill 2762,
Wait, so the motion is to oppose the bill?
to not take a stance.
Oh,
to
not take a stand. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll second that.
If someone is a public safety risk, they will still go through the process as usual.
No position,
This doesn't seem to be having too many implications to it.
right? That's what I think she's saying. You're saying take no position.
Yeah.
I'll
Pardon
second.
us, you've got 2 people with hearing aids that aren't
I
hearing
know,
well.
the acoustics here are not that good.
So the motion is to not support the bill, or to,
Just not
But-
do anything with it.
Stay neutral, essentially.
okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion on remaining neutral on Senate Bill 2762? Seeing no hands, nothing on screen. The Waikiki Neighborhood Board remains neutral on Senate Bill 2762. Edward?
Okay. Sixth bill on the list, I'll make the motion for the Waikiki Neighborhood Board to support the intention of, we had the incorrect Senate bill number. It is 3208, not 2308 per Sunshine. Are we able to switch that, or can we only vote on the House bill, which is 2413? Because I crossed out, but what's on the agenda is the improper number.
My fault.
It's okay.
I had dyslexic fingers when I typed the agenda.
Being that they are companions. Is it okay? Okay. So Senate Bill 3208 and House Bill 2413. And this would allow for defendants, just by recognizing that they committed a crime, which would include a violation, a traffic offense, nonviolent petty misdemeanors, nonviolent misdemeanors, and nonviolent Class C felonies, to be able to be released with no monetary bail, and essentially, if you look at it some ways, like allow for more habitual, potentially more habitual crimes.
I'll second the motion to support the bill.
Discussion, board members. John?
This bill is essentially the criminal justice reform bill that has destroyed cities across the country. If you vote yes on this thing, all of our offenders in Waikīkī, almost all of them, are petty misdemeanor or misdemeanor offenders. And right now, under safe and sound, they are held to bond, and some of them get some time and they're convicted. This will allow everybody to walk. The rate of return to court, a failure to appear, is 76%. You vote yes for this bill, you are going to unravel all of the work that I've done the last 5 years and all of the work that the Safe and Sound program has done in the last 5 years. And you're going to let everybody walk out of court with the knowledge that 76% will not return. It's the most dangerous bill on the agenda.
Yeah, I would still speak in support. I know Julian and I talk, I think there's a lot of, and I have a lot of respect for John and others, but I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about bail reform. And I think that there's this feeling that if we oppose bail reform, somehow we're getting tough on crime and we're going to make our communities safer. The truth is that Hawaii has a huge over-reliance on the use of bail. Bail is supposed to make sure that you show up in court and make sure that if you're dangerous, they don't let you out. But what happens is you end up picking up a lot of people for very minor crimes, and maybe they don't have $50 in their pocket to go and get a bondsman, and so they rot in jail while they're waiting for their case to come up. And the people that we're concerned about, the people with mental health issues, they decompensate even more when they're in prison because they're not getting appropriate care. So I don't see this as a dangerous bill at all. I think that if somebody is dangerous, they're not going to walk unless the judge has to let that happen. So to me, I think the concept of bail reform is a good one. That's my opinion, certainly.
If I may, petty misdemeanor, harassment, strike, shove, very common. They can hit you, an innocent victim. Petty misdemeanor under this law, ROR, release on your own recognizance. Number one felony in Waikīkī, crystal meth possession, Class C, nonviolent felony. You must walk, ROR. You are releasing all. We don't have any Class A or B. We might have one or two a year. We don't have any Class A or Bs. Class A is usually a murder. B is like major stuff. You're letting every single person that's arrested in Waikīkī be released on their own recognizance. It's wrong. If they have a mental illness, that is diagnosed usually on their first appearance, and they go through that channel. And the notion that there's a bunch of people languishing in court in misdemeanors is a bunch of nonsense. There's like 20 people, maybe. The average sentence for a misdemeanor, the median sentence is 2 days. Really dangerous move, guys.
Great.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I support also what John just said. I do want to just make a quick comment. I don't want to delay the process of you voting, but I would suggest that the public is much more involved in this process of what legislation that is going to be supported by the neighborhood board. it should be the public's neighborhood board, not the board making these decisions, in my opinion. And there should be not a recommendation from just one, or I don't know if it was a collaborative effort with just Jillian and Lewis. And I respect that, one is, I know Jillian is Republican because she's ran that way. And I know Lewis sides more on the Democratic side. But I believe strongly that there needs to be more involvement and have a committee. This should have been from a committee or the PIG that I had suggested last year, but a committee, a legislative committee should have been where this came from, where the public can then go to the committee meeting and discuss these bills and then bring it back for the vote to the board. The way you're doing this, in my opinion, is not democratic. It's not the way that I would ever do anything. And I don't want to add this, but I will. Jillian works for the legislature. She's run for office before. I'm assuming she's most likely going to run again this year. It sets a bad tone, in my opinion, to use the position of the neighborhood board that way. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I just have a process question. I think because we have to get through all these, that we limit our comments to 1 minute or just the very basics. That way we can hear from everybody and move along. Thank you.
Board members, further discussion. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, speaking as a retired police officer, I am very opposed to this. If I'm understanding it correctly, that it would require a police officer, there's no discretion, a person who commits any of these offenses, nonviolent Class C felony, and the other offenses listed here, that is wrong. We exercise discretion most of the time. I would release somebody with a court date. However, there were times that I got tired of arresting the same person over and over and over in the same night for nonviolent misdemeanors, which in Washington is breaking into a car. The people who got their cars broken into, I'm sure would not appreciate it. This person just gets cited and released, so they go next door and break into the neighbor's car. So I am very strongly, vehemently opposed to anything that requires these people committing these crimes, which generally lead to other crimes, and these are all quality of life issues. They should not be required to be released. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Rolf?
Don't the judges have discretion in this matter? Can't we depend on our judges to decide whether people should be released or not?
The language does say requires release, so it would remove that discretion.
So the judge would not be able to weigh in on this? They would just automatically be released? Well, then I'm opposed to it.
I see no more hands. I'd like to get to this.
Actually, Bob, this is Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, just briefly, what John just said and what Tim just said, it really adds credence. I went into this kind of supporting this, but I am going to oppose this kind of what I've heard from John and Tim. What they said makes sense. So I'm going to be opposing this one. Over.
Okay. Any further discussion? I'm going to take a roll call vote.
Okay, when I call your name, okay, when I call your name, please say yes, no, abstain regarding the HB 2413 and SB 3208 to support the concept. Because that's the original motion, that's why yeah. Okay, please say, or you want to change it? Okay, Amu?
No.
No, okay, Anderson?
No.
Okay. Nordal?
No.
Okay. Papanero?
No.
No. Okay. D'Orazio? Okay. Erdocek? Yes. Okay. Felix? No. Okay. Finley?
No.
No. Okay. Hensky?
No.
Okay. Pike?
No.
Okay. Daniel Jacob? Okay. Jeffrey Murs?
No.
Okay, Sirota? Okay. Smith? Okay, the noes have it. This is not adopted.
Moving on.
For the seventh bill on the list, I'd like to make the motion for the Waikiki Neighborhood Board to support House Bill 1626. Also on the topic of crime, this would prohibit the assessment of any fees, fines, or costs for someone who committed an offense when they were under 18 years old or also against their parent or guardian. Instead, it would look towards doing things like community service or other programs, and would also repeal penalties against parents or guardians associated with unaccompanied children in the streets.
Second motion.
Okay, discussion from the board. Seeing no discussion from the board, any discussion online? Seeing nothing. Show of hands if you oppose House Bill 1626. Oppose.
I'm not really understanding.
He opposed it, I think. Jeff, did you oppose it?
Yes, I oppose it.
Okay, House Bill 1626 fails.
Moving on to the eighth bill on the list, I'd like to make the motion for the Waikiki Neighborhood Board to support the intention of House Bill 2197. This one would address squatters by specifying a process by which property owners can use law enforcement to remove unauthorized individuals from dwellings. It would create the criminal offense of squatting and fraudulent sale or lease of a residential real property. It would classify the type of property damage inflicted by squatters as a form of criminal property damage in the second degree, and classify the falsification of documentation typically performed by squatters as a form of unsworn falsification to authorities.
Discussion,
Second the motion.
board? Any discussion? Any opposed to this? Show of hands if you're opposed to this. I see no hands. House Bill 2197 is supported by the Waikiki Neighborhood Board.
Moving on to the ninth bill, I'd like to make the motion for the Waikiki Neighborhood Board to support the intention of House Bill 2390. This would increase the offense of habitual property crime from a Class C to a Class B felony, and also increase the sentencing structure for convictions of habitual property crime. So in terms of imprisonment, the minimums would rise from 1 year to 5 years, and for probation go from 5 to 10 years, which would include at least 5 years of imprisonment instead of 1. And to be a habitual property crime perpetrator, that would mean that within a 10-year span, you would either commit 2 felonies or misdemeanors, either 1 felony or 1 misdemeanor, as well as a petty misdemeanor or 3 petty misdemeanors.
Yeah, I second the motion.
Board discussion. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, show of hands, any opposed? I see no hands. House Bill 2390 is supported by the Waikiki Neighborhood Board.
The 10th bill on the list, I'd like to make the motion for the Waikiki Neighborhood Board to support the intention of House Bill 2002 relating to neighborhood safety. And this would establish and appropriate $75,000 for the Neighborhood Security Watch Grant Program. That would be used to fund activities and rental payments of established neighborhood security watch groups and neighborhood citizen patrol groups that would rent government-owned facilities for a fee to carry out their duties.
Second.
Board members, discussion. Any discussion on this measure? See no
Yeah, so
discussion.
where's this money supposed to be coming from?
I'm sorry, this House Bill 2002. Is that
Right,
what we're talking about?
Right, it says we're gonna get $75,000. Where is that? It must be coming out of somebody's pot. Where's this money coming from?
Basically, it's, I believe, to get T-shirts for the people who walk around with community watch and stuff like that.
Right, I mean, is it coming from the police department's budget?
It comes from our general revenues, so the state's tax base, like our state's budget.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're not taking money that's needed somewhere else to buy people t-shirts. Okay.
Any further discussion on this matter? Show of hands for anybody opposing House Bill.
Yeah, Chair.
Yeah,
If I may,
I'm sorry.
well, was there like is there any limitation on what this fund can be used, or these volunteer neighborhood watch groups? I'm kind of expressing the same concern about where this is coming from and where the oversight of this fund is going to be.
There are definitions provided in the bill. So for neighborhood citizen patrol, it would be a community-based volunteer group patrol coordinated by a county police department that meets and has fulfilled all the requirements of the police department. And the security watch would be a community-based volunteer group organized for the purpose of promoting neighborhood safety that participates in or is formally recognized by the watch program by the police department. So there has to be county police department affiliation.
Further discussion? Seeing none.
This would provide some financing for facilities that might help in the process.
Please remember, Jillian did not write these bills.
But I was hoping she'd have the answers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, if no further discussion, show of hands opposing House Bill 2002. 1. House Bill 2002 is adopted for support by the Waikīkī Neighborhood Board.
Bill 11 on the list, I'd like to make the motion for the Waikīkī Neighborhood Board to support House Bill 2043. So with existing law, it's difficult to prosecute low-level property offenses like egging, graffiti, vandalism, as there's not normally established property value damage. So what this would do is create a separate offense called criminal mischief that would look at both the pecuniary loss as well as the inconvenience caused to the property owner. Things that would be included in this would be tampering with tangible property of another without their consent, as well as making markings, inscriptions, slogans, drawings, or paintings on the property of someone else without their consent, and the punishment would be a petty misdemeanor.
Yeah, I'll second the motion.
Do we have discussion? Any discussion on this matter? Let's see, any? Show of hands of those opposed to House Bill 2043. Seeing no hands, Waikīkī Neighborhood Board supports House Bill 2043.
I'd just like to move to skip this bill number 12, just because not too familiar with the implications, unless Representative Tam might know more, but it is a Senate bill, so he hasn't seen it yet, at least in any House committees. If we could just skip to the 13th bill. Mhm. It's okay. I don't think he's seen it.
Wait, I'm losing track of.
You think so?
So we're skipping Senate Bill.
If anyone has more information.
Yeah, I mean, because from what I'm reading, that it's gonna, one of the biggest problems with condos and fees is the attorneys get in and they write all these letters, and somebody that's in trouble and the condo's in trouble, the only person that gets paid is the attorney. And there's no limit. I have literally seen the legal fees equal to a fine or what they owed in delinquent maintenance fees when somebody had surgery because they didn't respond to the letters. Literally, it's ridiculous. And so this is saying that they're going to limit attorney's fees to 25% of whatever the underlying claim is, which right now it can be 100%. So sorry, I didn't read further earlier, but I think we should take a look at this because we've got a lot of condos in our.
Right, so you think this is a good idea?
I think, from what I'm seeing, I would like to see more. I don't know when we're going to get a chance, and I apologize for not having missed this one. But this really could help homeowners not have to foot the bill when somebody doesn't pay, because that's what happens. The other homeowners end up paying the legal fees when the offending person does not pay.
So I'll make the motion for the Waikiki Neighborhood Board to support the intention of Senate Bill 2037.
I'll second.
I second a motion, yes. No, and I agree with, and I
Further discussion?
agree with what you're
Chair?
saying.
Dave? Just a second, we have a board member first. Go ahead, Daniel.
The attorney's going to charge. And if you can only have the person who caused the attorney's fees to be incurred pay 25%, then the attorney's going to seek his bill from the entire association. And I think that extra cost would be spread amongst the association as opposed to the unit owner responsible for incurring those fees. So that's how I read it.
Go ahead, Greg.
Thank you. Yeah, I haven't interpreted it fully myself. I know there's, just so everyone is aware, on Friday the 13th, there's quite a few condominium bills that will be heard in committee for on the Senate side. So this particular one, this was introduced by Senator Keohokalole. I have to look at it a little more in depth too. I've been very busy, so I didn't have a chance to look at all of these bills prior to this meeting today, but I'm trying to look at them as just prior to as we talk, but it's difficult. So if this is beneficial to reducing a fee that would be charged, because there is attorneys are really taking advantage of not
Right.
just the owners, but the associations, then I
Well,
fully
it-
support that it be
It says
supported.
it literally limits attorney's fees awarded and charged under to
Yes.
25% of the claim.
Yeah, so I
So
fully
the way I
support,
read
and
that,
I
that
don't
would mean
believe,
if it-
yes. If I could just, I fully support what you just said. I fully support that. And I don't believe what the other board members said, that it could be charged to the association, because at the end of the day, if it's legislation that's passed and there's law, then as long as the law is written properly, it protects the owners and it protects the association. Remember what the association is. It's an association of the owners. It's not an association of a corporation that of, people that are going to be separate from the owners. All of the board members are owners also. So as long as it's well written, and it can always be amended and updated. So I will be attending that hearing on Friday, and I hope that others support testimony.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Further discussion from board members? Show of hands opposed to this House Senate Bill 2037. Catherine?
I would request that we abstain from this until we have more information.
I'm sorry, what's? She abstains, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Board members, condominium issues are very complex. In my personal board, I just raised the maintenance fees to my owners by 29% because of things like this that we have to charge them for. Can I suggest that we move on to House Bill 2440 relating to insurance? I don't think we're going to reach a very good, I don't think we're going to have much to do with the.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Bob. We got like 10 condo bills on here, and I think we're going to have, do you want to defer the condo bills till the next meeting, or I don't know, or?
I mean, there's quite a few of us that it is our profession, so we're familiar with.
whether there are a lot of you that are familiar with it or not, we as a whole board are not familiar with it. And I would like us to move on with it until we have more time. We're not required to pass these tonight.
Well, that's fine if, as long as we're clear about that. I don't want to just pass it up and not get back to it.
In the interest of time, can we move to the 22nd bill, Senate Bill 2591? That's where we begin with more Waikīkī specific bills.
Chair, if I could just speak on the last decision made, because this impacts all of those measures that you are now excluding. Could I just have a moment? It's on, they are on agenda, so I would like to speak on all of the bills that you are now excluding, which I feel personally you're biased against, because you just made a comment about if you serve as a director on your board and you know this was on agenda, then you should clearly be well educated with these issues, and you should also have read this, as should all of the neighborhood board members. It's an affront to the community where we have so many condominiums to just decide to all of a sudden go past that. And I'm just shocked right now at what's happening with this session. And this is why this should be in committee. And then you can bring these back from committee and make the recommendations. That way the public has plenty of time to provide input. But this is an affront to the community. Waikīkī is made up of mostly condominiums and apartment buildings. And to just skip over that is just unbelievable. I've never seen such a thing. And again, you should be the most knowledgeable if you serve on your board and you made the decision to raise the maintenance fees. I don't know. Does that mean if you're board president, did the other board members contribute to that? I have a concern with that statement. It should be the board that makes the decision, not the chair.
Thank you.
Well, the board, yeah. I mean, the board can make the decision. I don't think we need lectures from former board members about what we're supposed to be doing one way or the other, but the board can make the decision about what we're going to do. And in the interest of time, condominium stuff a lot of these bills tend to die pretty fast anyway. So it probably makes sense to wait a month and see if any of these things actually get any life at the legislature, and then we can deal with it. In the meantime, we've got the letter to DLNR that's on the agenda that we haven't gotten to. We've got a lot of other bills,
Lou, I just said, yeah, I just said they're scheduled Friday.
We have
They're
more
scheduled for
important business
Friday.
to deal with.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to move on to Senate Bill 2591 relating to noise. Discussion from the board members. Do you want to continue with the condominium bills or move on? So,
Board, Chair?
did I
Chair.
miss one?
Yeah,
No.
me. Yo, hello.
Yes.
I would agree that we need to go past the condominium issues. And unless there are printouts that give us more information about all of these bills, I don't, for one, feel qualified yet to make a judgment on whether we should or should not support it.
$25.91.
Move to 2591.
I make it, yes, I second the motion to move to Senate Bill 2591.
This from board members. Okay. Any opposed to my motion to move forward to 2591? Seeing Renee, are you opposing moving forward?
Yes, I am opposed.
Okay. Okay.
Chair?
The motion.
If I could just clarify, so your motion is to move on for the condo bills just for this meeting, and we're going to address it at the next meeting?
Yes, we move as far as bill number 22 on your handout.
Okay.
Relating to noise.
Oh, thank you.
And anybody in this room, anybody in the state can send a letter to the appropriate committee supporting or opposing anything. So what we're doing is picking up what the board wants. I apologize, we ran out of time on this. So let us move on to Senate Bill 2591.
The Waikīkī Neighborhood Board supports the intention of Senate Bill 2591. This was introduced by Senator Moriwaki, and it would prohibit the operation of privately owned and operated refuse collection vehicles before 6 a.m. and after 6 p.m. within 500 feet of any zone for mixed use or residential apartment use in Honolulu County.
Second.
Discussion. Oh, discussion first before we. I see no discussion.
Actually,
All those-
Bob, this is Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jillian, is it, you said this zone, like this, the designated legal zoning district? Or like within, like a residential zone? We got to be very careful if we're talking about zoning or just where urban development occurs. So I guess I would just want to know that clarification. It's a minor thing, but it may be apt. Over.
Okay. So anybody opposed to Senate Bill 2591, show of hands. I have Ralph, 2, 3. Abstain from me. Abstain from me.
This is way easier than what I'm doing. Okay, it's better just to do voice vote again. Okay, when I call your name, please say yes, no, abstain regarding 2591 noise, regarding the noise. Okay, Amu?
Abstain.
Okay, abstain. Anderson?
Yes.
Okay, Nordahl?
No.
Okay, Carbonaro? D'Orazio? Okay, Erdercheck? Okay, that's not bad. Felix? Okay, Finley? Okay. Hensky?
Hey,
Is that a yes? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Abstain? No? Okay, then. Pike?
No.
Okay. Daniel Jacob? Okay. Mers?
Abstain.
Okay. Sorota? Okay, wait, yes? Okay. Smith? Okay. This is not adopted.
Okay, moving on. Was not adopted.
Okay. The Waikīkī Neighborhood Board moves to support the intention of Senate Bill 2353 and House Bill 2569. This would allow for billboards, including digital billboards in Waikīkī, as well as the Stadium District.
Outdoor signage.
Second motion.
I think we're going to have a huge problem with the outdoor circle on this. And I think this is a really bad idea.
Terrible idea, right?
Okay.
excuse me, you guys need to pay attention to people behind you. Okay?
Okay, we're gonna do a vote on supporting Senate Bill 2353 regarding the outdoor signage. Okay. Oh. And House Bill 2569. Okay, please say yes or abstain. Amu?
No.
Okay, Anderson?
No.
No. Okay, Nordahl? Okay, Carbonaro? Okay, D'Orazio? Okay, Ercheck? Okay. No. Okay, okay, no. Finley? Okay, Hansky?
No.
Okay. Height?
No.
Okay. Daniel Jacob? Okay. Abstain? Okay. Jeffrey Mers?
No.
No? Okay. Sorota? Okay. Smith? Okay, the noes have it.
Moving on. Waikīkī Neighborhood does not adopt Senate Bill 2353, House Bill 2569.
The next few bills might generate discussion. I don't know if we wanted to get to the letter first and then perhaps move these to the next agenda if we run out of time instead of the other way around.
Oh, I think. Yeah. What? You want to go to the letter?
Pause for the letter, and then if we have time.
I think we should get to the letter.
Bill 2375.
Here, if you have a hand raised behind you, please acknowledge it.
So you want to defer the rest of the agenda till the next meeting? Is there a motion to that?
I
Are we
oppose
voting on-
that. Bob, I oppose. The voting community has shown up to our meetings repeatedly, asking for us to help support them. I think we should at least give them a chance to discuss this particular issue.
If I understand what you were suggesting, Julian, it's that we go to the other item on the agenda and then potentially come back to this list and see how much time we have. Is that what you, yeah, I think that makes perfect sense.
That is not what I was suggesting. What I said was the voting community has shown up for years at our meeting. And I think this particular issue should be heard tonight.
Bill 24 on the list.
Just a minute. So we need, what is it, 2/3 of the board members to adjust the agenda, right? If we're going to move on, or we just need a simple motion.
Unless we could do just a quick vote on the 24th bill, which is what she's saying, the one regarding the Alawai Boat Harbor.
I wanted to speak on 23. I mean, 30.
Catherine, are you referring to the towing practices or
Yes,
boating?
the towing, there's
Okay, so
two,
that's
actually
number
two
30,
things on
and that's
here.
House Bill
Let
2375.
me clarify this, please. Okay, what I have on my agenda says relating to state boat facilities. It does not specify towing or anything else. I'd like a little bit further information before we move on.
Okay. So we're stopping and then we're going to the other items
We come back.
and then we're going to come back.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So this is item C, letter to DLNR about parking at the Alawai Boat Harbor. It's been discussed at several meetings. Jeff, do you have an input on this?
I don't at this time. I've certainly been in touch with Katie. I'm aware of the issue, but I really don't have anything knowledgeable to add to this. I think Katie's got it covered and can succinctly describe it.
Hello, Kate Thompson here. We initiated some communications about towing. I gave you some updated information today, 2,500 and I think 85 cars were towed. and only 25 tickets were given last year, and then the year before, only 4, and over 2,000 cars a year towed for several years. And we're just asking that the board sends a letter to Don Chang that's up on the Google Doc, so you're eligible to vote on it, and you've seen drafts from me before. The only thing is, I might ask that if whoever makes a motion, and hopefully it's seconded and everything, that, we add the acting deal in our chair name, which is Ryan Kanaka Ole's name as well, because Don Chang isn't available. So I don't know if anyone's willing to make a motion to send such a letter that's up on the Google Docs.
Who's making the motion?
I'll move. I move to accept the motion.
Okay.
I
Well, if you
second.
want to
I second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on this issue?
Yeah, Bob, this is Jeff again. I do have some comments. Maybe if you could just kind of brief us. I know I've been out of town, but I'm disappointed that someone from Dobor can't show up at this meeting. I thought we're going to give them adequate time. And it's not your fault. I'm just thinking, I know Dawn's not going to be showing up. She's has issues, but why can't Dobor show up and walk us through? The whole point for me was to socialize this with the community, bring it up at meetings, and then have Dobor have a dialogue with them. That's the beauty of these in-person meetings. But I'm just curious if you could let us know, kind of, did they respond? Did they, what did they say? If you did reach out to them, not put you on the spot.
I think I'm in support of the motion. I think that the letter is already on Google Docs. The matter's on the agenda. It's not our fault. It's not her fault that Dobor didn't show up tonight. I don't think that we need to delay action just because they're not here. I think we should put ourselves on the record, express our position, send it to them, and then maybe ask Yvonne again to see if she can get them to come to the next meeting and respond. But I think we should take the action tonight and pass the letter, sign it, and send it on its way.
Chair, there's some concern about the written testimony being written to Don Chang as opposed to the acting Ryan, the acting.
Kanaka
Yeah,
Ole.
it seems that we are.
So is there?
Well,
concern
Don
about that?
Chang is out sick.
Right.
Megan Stentis, Stetts, is our point of contact on this. And I will send her an email tomorrow through Yvonne, asking if she can be at our next meeting and go over their plans. In the meantime, we can sign the letter and send it to them.
There you go.
And we're done. So there's a motion on the floor to sign the letter that was posted on our Google Drive.
We can do that. That's fine.
That's what I think.
And
And then we'll amend it
we will-
too. So I think there was concern about amending the letter so that it actually reflected the acting chairperson right now, Ryan. Is
Okay.
that a concern?
Yeah,
Okay, I don't think so. Okay.
yeah, it's minor. So, okay. So any further discussion on this issue? See no hands, nothing. All those in favor of supporting the letter about parking at the LOI Boat Harbor, show of hands. Any opposed? Online, any opposed? Good, so motion passes. Okay,
I guess since I'm here, and I don't know if you have time for one more, but number 30 on your bills is also closely related.
thank you. We're done.
You have time.
Hanson has a suggestion that he reads each bill. If you have an opposition to it, then we stop and go from there. Does that work for everybody? It should take a lot less time.
Support instead of going down the bills.
Yeah,
Saying, I support this.
Oh, just go on the
Yeah.
rest of the list.
yes.
And say, does anybody oppose any? Yeah. And otherwise, then we would go to support.
Yes,
Well, that's not a bad.
yeah. So where should we start? We passed the condominium bill. When ask them, right? 2, 3. Three, 2, 3, 6 voting facilities. Okay, Senate
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah, I
2367, House Bill 1936,
yeah,
relating to state voting facilities.
yeah,
Anybody opposed to that bill?
yeah.
Senate Bill 23, or number 24. 24.
Yeah.
So anybody opposed to that?
Yes, I don't support privatizing the Alloy Harbor, which is what this bill does. And so, I would oppose the bill. I mean, we could just,
Representative Tam, have you got some comments on this? Are you still here?
Hanson, would you please acknowledge a raised hand by a board member?
Before we go back,
I make a motion that we adjourn and consider some of these things at our next meeting when we have them. And look at this. We still have 14 more.
there is a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Okay, that we stop at this point and continue on at our next meeting.
Is it possible to have a meeting between the meeting or something to go over these? Because I don't know how, I mean, there's, yeah.
This is one of the difference, what we should consider, right?
most of these bills probably have some consensus behind them, but I hear you. Senate Bill 2997, which would repeal the Waikīkī trigger from the environmental assessment law, I have a lot of problems with. I don't know how others feel. So I personally would like to see the board go on record opposing that sooner than later. But if you want to adjourn and take it up at the March meeting, we can do that.
I'd like to call the question. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to call the question.
Yes.
Chair,
Question is
God
stop.
almighty. Hello, Chair.
Yeah,
I've had my hand up now ever since Board Member Edicek spoke about the boat harbor. Lou, you made a statement.
sorry, Catherine, I couldn't understand.
Okay, Lou made a statement that he was opposed to the boat harbor being privatized. May I please address that?
Certainly, except there's a motion on the floor to defer, but folks,
I
if you
had
don't
my
mind.
hand up way before that motion was presented. It's very frustrating. I would be there if I could. Lou, I have been a boater in Waikīkī and in Hawaii since 1975. We had in the past several discussions about the fact that monies from the Alawai Boat Harbor were going to support other harbors in Hawaii. I believe that the private ownership or private management would be beneficial to the Alawai because there are so many things that the state is not doing properly and could be accomplished by a private entity. I have seen marinas all my life. That's 76 years of being raised on boats, where marinas have become beautiful, money-making facilities. That has not happened at the Alawai. So I'm in favor of privatization. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
We have a motion on the floor, but it has been seconded. Take a roll call.
Okay. When I call your name, please say yes or abstain regarding to postpone all the bills until next month. Okay. Oh, well, not all the bills, but all the bills that haven't been addressed to next month. Okay. Amu?
Yes.
Okay. Anderson?
Yes.
Okay. Nordall?
Yes.
Okay. Carbonaro?
Yes.
Okay. Di Orazio? Okay. Erdachak? Felix? Finley? Hensky?
Yes.
Height? Daniel Jacob? Okay. Jeffrey Mers?
Yes.
Okay. Sirota?
Yes.
Smith? Okay. The yes has it.
Before we leave, I have one more that we have to do. In the neighborhood plans, section 2-14-125, we can appoint delegates to act for us. In this case, at the legislature, I'd like to nominate Jillian and Lou to be our delegates at the legislature and have them follow up on bills that we support or oppose.
I second it.
Any further discussion on that?
Call the question.
You're getting good with that. And I've got to turn that speaker around so I can hear what's happening.
No, you could just ask it.
Any objections to that? Seeing none. Motion is approved. It is 9 o'clock. I told them we'd be a few minutes late or more than a few minutes. I thank everybody for putting up with the long meeting, the long discussions. It's very important. And I thank Jillian, Lou, and others who submitted bills, and we will move on to the next meeting with it. This meeting is adjourned. Help us put away tables and chairs.